feel like I'm drinking paint.
Yeah, that definitely tastes like paint.
It reminds me of like Elmer's glue.
Yes. You know what that little hole that they drill in the bottom of the cask is called?
The pee hole?
The bunghole?
The bung hole.
The bunghole. Yeah, the bunghole.
The bung hole.
The bunghole.
Are you familiar with it?
With what?
White people taco night.
No.
Really?
Please.
Yeah,
love
that's
this
my
because-
preferred kind of taco night.
I wouldn't call it preferred, but man, I enjoy it very much.
Your ground beef from the grocery store, and your
There's a
iceberg
main
lettuce from the
too.
grocery store, and your shredded cheese from the grocery store.
Hey everybody, this is Chris with GTE number 17, I believe, 18. We're up there right now. Well, I'm your host, Chris.
I'm Joseph.
Hi, I'm Brandon. _agent.
I said my name twice. Special guest in the house. Once again, return guest. Loves hanging out, talking whiskey and education and
Education.
whiskey education specifically, not just whiskey and education. Those are two separate things.
Well, you mean you can educate somebody about whiskey. So I guess that they do kind of.
Yes, good old whiskey education right
Yeah.
there. Who do we have in the house already? We got Skunk Butt, Zalman, Rec. I see Has Agent in here and there, and Ryu of course as well. Oh, there it is. We are GT number 17 today.
You type it in and still couldn't figure it out?
I literally zone out when I type the number.
Sounds right. He zoned out for a whole 2 seconds. 17.
On deck tonight, we have canned cocktails that we're going to be trying out. This is one I've been talking about for a while. I found them in Vegas. They're called Club Tails, and there's different flavors of them. And supposedly, there's another one. What's the other one that we had?
Just club.
Just Club. And these are, as far as I'm aware, not related.
I don't think so.
No, which is...
I think Club Tales came afterwards, and they really tried to write the coattails of the club brand little beverages.
So it's just really on the nose, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I think they went, this has been popular for 30 years. Let's make our own.
Whose coattails can we ride? Club. Let's not just... There's your name. That's the joke. That's the joke.
It's just not a good joke.
Yeah, well, not all jokes are good.
I wish there was alcohol-infused glizzies. That sounds like a fucking good idea.
So electrifying entertainers in the industry.
Next time we're doing deviled eggs.
How was your guys' Thanksgiving? What'd you eat? Well, favorite dish?
Favorite dish. It was good, by the way. How was yours?
Very good. I won money.
Nice.
We'll get into that.
How was yours? Brandon?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is balls. Hate Thanksgiving.
What
Hate
did
Christmas.
you eat, though? Oh, ham, right?
Yeah, I had a bunch of ham.
It's a ham.
I've been having ham for the past 36 hours.
It's a ham.
Like everything I've eaten was just ham.
Ryu Dragon says his favorite dish was sleeping right after all the ham.
Nice.
And yours?
Pecan pie.
Go straight to the dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pecan pie.
I had one fingerful of pecan pie because I don't like overtly sweet stuff, but I love pecan pie.
Yeah.
So I took a little bit of the knife and and then I put it on my finger and I was like, that's good. And that's all I had.
I got the flavor. I'm happy.
Yeah. It was a good pecan pie. Like, I like it. It's just, I don't know, something about pie to me, just not a big fan.
You want to point up and tell them what's going on above your head right now, Brandon?
Todd, is that you?
That's funny is you're looking right at it when you did
I know.
that.
Right here,
perfect.
we got a bits goal. If you want to throw some bits our way, we'll stop whatever the fuck we're doing and drink our drinks, which are currently empty.
So I can't really hear the bits alert very well. Let me actually check my alerts while. Oh,
I mean, it'll say right here if somebody donates bits.
That's true too. So I'll leave that kind of low then.
So we're gonna get into the Christmas spirit a little early. Well, I guess not early anymore. The day after Thanksgiving is the first day to start celebrating the season, and I got some Screwball peanut butter whiskey eggnog, and I'm excited, but not nearly as excited as I thought I was because this is peanut butter flavored eggnog, and I didn't realize it was peanut butter flavored eggnog.
Peanut butter whiskey flavored eggnog.
Yeah, until I got here, I just thought it was Screwball eggnog.
It was great. It was a great experience when I pointed that out to him.
I mean, sure. So if we can get some glasses.
I mean, it was very much like the spicy buffalo moment.
Yes. Can you
yes.
reach under there and grab 3 glasses, please?
Sure.
They're all freshly washed.
They are. There's no roaches. This is how we should have started with him down here.
Does it pop up? Hey.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Skunk, we don't have
Oh, those aren't enabled. I'll turn those off right now.
I really like that sound. All right, I was
Look.
I just want a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Here you go, Chris.
Now I feel like a lush. Look.
I was wondering if the word was going to come up.
You can use one of the napkins to clean the tip a little there. Oh, Zalman already starting us off with 25 bits. Thank you, Zalman. We're an eighth of the way to the goal.
He knows what eighths are. That's a drug reference.
Let me turn some.
It's so thick.
Yeah.
Look at the legs on that. You see the
legs.
Look at the legs on that one.
Isn't that what they say about wine when it sticks to the glass like that?
Yeah.
It's legs. It's not like
same thing with whiskey too. They call it the legs.
Oh, do they? I didn't know whiskey stuck to the glass like that.
Oh yeah, it does totally.
Oh.
Yeah,
totally. He said
anything with alcohol content. But
with the milk content, you could really tell.
I thought it was stringy.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
That's egregious, even.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the biddies. I see them. So just
let's cheers this up.
Cheers.
Okay.
All right.
I honestly feel like I'm drinking paint.
Yeah, it's very thick,
and it has that paint thinner smell. At first,
no, I actually really dig it.
I think if it was colder,
you can definitely taste the peanut butter. I can.
Oh, I couldn't.
Taste it. I can taste it back. Yeah.
Hold on. I think it's just like thick, like peanut butter, and that's what it is. But yeah, I kind of taste peanut.
And this is why I only poured as much as I did.
Yeah.
I still like my experience drinking it. My brain kept telling me that's paint. Stop. Like
it looks like it.
I was fighting my brain to make it go down. Like, this is weird.
So it's funny you mentioned that. That's actually a real, like, almost like a defense mechanism that your body, like your nervous system, is telling you when it senses like a huge amount of alcohol right away. It actually really is your body being like, stop, please stop. Like, this is dangerous. But as you ease up and get more comfortable with the drink and start to get more used to it, then your brain's like, okay, it's cool. You know what you're doing. This is fine, type of thing. So
I see self-preservation mechanism.
Yeah. My body has none of that. It goes, please die.
Your body's just like, no, stop. No.
Yeah. Balsonic says we need Fireball to include it.
I don't have any of that.
I haven't had Fireball since I was like,
we did.
I don't know, 10 years ago when it first came out.
Where did we do Fireball shots recently?
Did we? Us up?
No. Okay, it was with Zalman, in Vegas. Yeah, it's when we broke for dinner right before we started the podcast. You know how we everybody just went their own separate ways for a little while. He just dropped another 20 bits.
Yeah, load up the next round. Stop and no. Okay, so you don't understand the concept. Once the goal gets met, then we stop and drink.
We didn't do it in the room, Zalman. We did it at the Ketchup Premium Burger place. That was super.
Ketchup Premium Burger.
Premium Burgers and Fries.
I hate pretentious ass names like that.
It's just the name of a product.
Yeah, but
like at least they're not trying to make up a name. Like it's just a name of something they use.
Burger.
Well,
Kraft.
That's like
shut the fuck.
That's
up.
like half of Gordon Ramsay's.
I was naming literally Gordon Ramsay restaurants. Yes,
that shit was cheap. It was $5 Fireball shots. It was pretty
well, I mean, that's expensive for Fireball
in Vegas.
Well, okay, it's still.
Apparently, Fireball and Screwball taste like Reese's Pieces.
Well, this is not regular Screwball.
This is Screwball.
Eggnog, and I definitely get the egg. Do you get the egg?
Yeah, a little bit.
I get the egg and the nog.
So eggnog is traditionally just cream and brandy, isn't it?
I don't know. I only have it as rompope, which is what, Olga? It's. I didn't know. I honestly didn't even know that they're basically the same thing because my dad gave me this one time. He goes, "Have some rompope." It's eggs, milk, vanilla, and then I come to find out later they're like, "No, you're drinking eggnog," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that was eggnog. It's good."
Rompope. Eggnog. I think it's just like heavy cream and brandy. I think I'm looking it up right now. Milk punch or egg milk punch?
Thanks.
Egg milk punch sounds so gross. Oh, well, there goes our
power outage.
No, it's buffering or something. Oh, it's back.
Milk, cream, sugar, egg yolks, and whipped egg whites.
Uh-oh. Zalman just cheered 50 more bits.
Okay.
Let's see. We're at 157 total. 79% of the goal to just drink again. But he wants us to wait till the next one, I take it, I think. Yeah, so it was originally brandy, but when it came to U.S., it switched up to whiskey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always thought it was brandy.
How are you for brandy, Joseph?
You know, I don't think I probably had brandy maybe once or twice, but not recent enough to actually recall my experience, what it was like. I mean, I can tell you it wasn't bad. Like I didn't have like a bad, experience with it or anything like that.
You're just like,
I was like, I had it. It was okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Skunk Butt dropped in with a 10-month sub. Thank you, Skunk Butt. And then Zalman finishing it off. No, he didn't. We're still at 157, or it didn't update.
It hasn't updated yet.
Yeah, 45 more bits.
Thanks, Skunk.
Yep, that's 202 bits.
Yeah, my experience with brandy is that it's just a thinner whiskey. Like, it's just not as thick, but it doesn't taste bad. I like it. I feel like it's in all of our parents' houses.
No.
Well, okay, Chris. All of the white parents' houses? Like, I just feel like that's
just yours.
Well, I don't have parents. Thanks, though.
Used to. The experience growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents always had like 3 dusty bottles of liquor in their cabinet that they never touched. I never saw my parents drink until I was much, much older. But they had Kahlua from their wedding day, which I'm sure was bad because it was a cream liqueur.
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
Yeah, for sure. But they had it in their cupboard as long as I knew. And then I think they had E&O brandy.
Oh, E&J.
E&J brandy. And then they had gin.
Okay. Like what? Like Tangray or something? Or different?
No, not B&J. Not Beefeater.
Well, he hit the limit anyways. So he hit the goal. So.
Okay, so we got to drink.
I'm going to finish mine with that. Thanks.
Yeah, that definitely tastes like paint.
It almost has like it reminds me of like Elmer's glue.
Yes. Oh my, it's so thick.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me of chilled semen.
Wow. So then guess what the liquors were in our cabinet growing up in my parents' house?
Tequila.
Racist.
Not racist at all.
Mezcal.
Mezcal is just fancy tequila.
No, tequila.
I know for a fact that your parents had a giant long blue bottle of tequila.
That was later on in life.
But that's okay. But what I remember from what your parents had was the giant. Mm-hmm. It was like this tall and all swirly.
Yeah. Okay. So what they had was, and that's why I think what was funny is the soldier Kahlua guy, not the soldier. Sorry, they had a Smirnoff bottle, and it was the soldier guy, like the Nutcracker looking dude.
Yeah.
Right, and a bottle of Kahlua.
Yeah, always.
And then also a bottle of tequila.
Yeah, but I think my parents had one Kahlua coffee at their wedding. Again, I wasn't there. But other than that, until I was out of the house and they had moved states, then they started kind of drinking, and they were drinking wine coolers and Smirnoff ices. So it's not like they ever drank.
Man, they went hard.
My dad drank when I was a kid, and I've told this story multiple times about him buying a sixer of Pabst Blue Ribbon and leaving it out in the sun because it got more alcoholic, and then he would bring it in and drink it warm. Something that he learned in Vietnam or some shit. I don't know.
Here, Shorty will like this one. Zalman just said, "You know how much water I switched out that vodka
without Nutcracker." There was a story about that. The parents went to go put the alcohol in the freezer to chill it for drinks, and the bottle blew up in the freezer because their kids had been switching it out with water.
Damn,
because alcohol doesn't freeze, but water does.
That's funny. Like, Monkas, excuse me. Oh shit, that's definitely going on the socials.
What is
your comment on how this tastes?
Oh, cold semen. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if you're ever trying to clean semen out of your clothes or towels or anything, always use cold water. Never use hot water. Hot water will just spread it. That's a
pretty sure
excavator.
I know what that is. Oh, yeah.
It's an excavator.
It looks better there than it does on this one.
I only know because he put it in my chat the other day, and I was like, ooh, a crane. I mean, it's not a crane, it's a bucket loader, but pretty cool.
So anyways, though, so what do we have next? Oh, set the goal.
You don't have to reset the goal. Just every 200 bits will...
Yeah, but this way we know. It looks funny this way.
Okay.
It's really easy to reset anyways.
It's really easy. Just 4 simple clicks.
It's reset.
It's reset.
I said it's reset.
Bushman is a Scotch whiskey. Okay. Buchanan?
It's Buchanan.
Oh, I can barely read
okay.
it.
Yeah, Buchanan. I think you had a Buchanan.
Bucanas. Yeah, the smoky one.
Ooh, peaty. Smoky or peaty?
I would say it's more smoky, not like, nothing like Lagavulin or anything.
I love that. That peat that just sticks with you for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And then
I was still like super bummed that I didn't, I almost brought, have you had one called Lefroy?
No.
Okay. So there's one called, it's a distillery called Lefroy. They make one of their most common bottles is just Lefroy 10. So it's a 10-year-old.
Yeah, which is still good.
But it's still very good, very respectable. You can find it for significantly cheaper than Lagavulin.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I feel like Lagavulin was fairly not expensive. It was in the mid-range. Mm-hmm. And then when Nick Offerman had it on Parks and Rec, and it became like his drink, and he only drinks Lagavulin, I feel like it almost doubled in price. Yeah. I feel like it was only like a $40 bottle, and now it's $60 to $70.
Yeah, I mean, he's partners with them now. Like he's done like those special release bottles, limited edition.
I've always wanted them, but every time I go to get them, they're way too expensive.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
Easily.
Yeah, he said he has all 3.
Okay, yeah, I have all 3. They're unopened. I just have them as like collector's items.
Yeah, so. And I would do the same.
Yeah,
I don't think I would drink I want to drink it because I want to taste it, but I think I would keep it just to have.
Yeah, so I did. I eventually bought a second bottle of his second release, and that was the one where they did a partnership with Guinness.
Oh, okay.
So Lagavulin, Nick Offerman did a partnership with Guinness where they purchased a bunch of Guinness's ex casks that they would use to mature Guinness in, brought them back to Scotland, and what they did is they did a finishing with their whiskey, where basically Lagavulin still aged the whiskey in their barrels, but they did like I think a 6-month finishing in Guinness casks.
Oh, okay. So just a little bit of the taste was there. Yeah.
So it does have like that classic, great, smoky, peaty, Islay, Scotch whiskey taste, but it has just like this finish of
chocolatey.
Yes. Dude. And let me tell you.
That's rad.
Yeah, it is. It was great.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe if I find a bottle somewhere, I'll pick it up.
Totally. Totally.
So speaking of casks and all that sort of stuff, is that the one that you sent me, I didn't recognize what it said it was. So Joseph sent a picture, said, should I get this one? And
the answer is always yes. I don't care if he sends me anything.
It was a beer called Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
The beer.
But it said it was feeder. It started with an F, and it's aged differently. But when I looked into it, it's actually not that different.
I went home that night that we drank all the whiskey, Joseph, and I was like looking up all this stuff because I had remembered something about Devil's Cut and the Angel Share.
The Angel Share,
yeah. And I found the Angel Share, which is the evaporated. It evaporates into the wood, and then they squeeze it out of the wood.
Well, no, it actually evaporates into the air, and it gets soaked into the wood. So that's why they call it the angel shares over time. Um, because the whiskey is aging in a barrel. There's gonna be some
leakage.
Yeah, it's not entirely sealed. There's some porous, elements that's associated with the wood that allows, some of the alcohol vapors to escape over time. So that's why they call it the angel's share.
Yeah.
So it said it was something called a foeder aged with blueberries, but I guess that word is pronounced feeder. Yeah, I looked at him like, what does that mean? Is it still a beer? But it turns out those are these feeder things, giant barrels, like huge. Like some of them can hold like 1 million gallons or something like that.
A 1 million gallon barrel?
Like, sure.
Maybe liters.
I don't.
Liters.
Okay, that's still 500,000 gallons.
Well, I mean,
that's a lot.
They're huge. They take cranes to move.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make me question that method is because you have to consider the sheer amount of volume of liquid in there. How much of that is going to be able to have contact with the barrel itself?
Yeah, they're not a lot.
Right.
Yeah, not a whole lot, right?
So
like maybe 30%.
And my guess is that it's different goals with it, but the stuff that I read on it, and this makes sense to me at least, is they said it's more consistent if you're going for a very specific style, because you won't cross-contaminate between different runs using those same giant things. Stuff like that. But yeah, it's not as common. Apparently, there's a brewery in Colorado that got a few of them that is doing stuff with them now too.
That just seems like unfathomably big. Unfathomably, that's a fucking bad word. Unfathomably, I still fucked it up. Big amount of liquid liquor, and wood to build those casks, and to have it called like cask.
Yeah.
Finish like.
Damn.
Like Joseph was saying, yeah, that's not 1 million gallons.
No, I didn't say that was the biggest one. No,
but still, like, I feel like it's too much, and as much of it is touching the cask, it can't be a lot.
Yeah, like, so here's the thing, like, I know from what little I've learned is if I want to taste a specific beer or whiskey or even like brandy, whatever, I'm more interested in something that's been aged in a smaller cask or barrel, as opposed to something that is like
then it's
massive and giant,
Then it's like just might as well have it out of one of the giant kegs like breweries have.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
The giant steel keg.
Yeah, so it
just
said,
add the flavor afterwards.
Anything larger than 600 liters is considered a foeder or feeder, not a barrel anymore. But the largest one was the size of a warehouse and held up to 1 million liters.
That's no way,
crazy.
dude.
Like, why? I don't even.
Like, do you just have a big stirring stick in there to try to make all of it hit the walls? Because if you're not hitting the walls, you're not.
You're not accomplishing the flavor profile that you're trying to get after. Yeah.
Everybody's getting fucked on that.
Yeah.
I made a sex joke. Joseph didn't catch it. Chris caught it.
So Bosonic even commented small batch release compared to mass release.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's why, a lot of a lot of the bottles I've seen on the shelf will often say marketing phrases like small batch.
Yeah, small batch to them is not what we're looking for when we're looking for.
My guess as to why that became a thing and why it's becoming a thing again, sort of, is because it was old technology. They didn't have steel barrels or steel kegs or whatever back in the day.
Sense.
So if you wanted a bigger barrel, you made a bigger barrel, and then eventually they just called it something else. And now with the way that society is and alcohol and brewing and all that, hey, let's make that old thing cool again.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Do you know what that little hole that they drill in the bottom of the cask is called?
The pee hole?
The bung hole?
The bung hole.
The bung hole. Yeah, the bung hole.
The bung hole.
The bung hole is where they actually, how they siphon out the whiskey out, they get it out. Yeah. Yeah.
I just always thought it was funny.
Clip.
What, the bunghole?
Yeah.
Clip the bunghole?
Clip the bunghole.
When I was driving in Boston one time, we were driving down a dark, dreary road trying to find the Proctor's Ledges, where they hung the witches. So we were driving down this like random black, dark alleyway, and I saw in the distance, a bright sign, and I was like, what is that? And we're driving, and this sign became apparent, and it said Bunghole Liquors. And I almost drove the car off the fucking road because I was laughing so hard that there was Bunghole Liquors. And I stopped in there and I said, hey, did you have a t-shirt, a lighter, something to buy with your name on it? And they're like, no, why would we do that? I'm like, your name is literally Bunghole Liquors. And you
don't get it?
Yeah, they didn't understand the joke.
They were more than likely thinking of with the actual definition.
Yes.
It is a real definition for a component of a barrel.
Yeah.
They just never seen Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, but Bunghole Liquors? Come on, dude. They had to have known. That's like the place in Ontario.
Maybe that was a joke. After you left, they're like, that fucking guy.
Yeah. Have you seen the place in Ontario? I think it's off of Archibald or Vineyard in the 60, and it's called Liquor Box.
Yes.
And I love that place because it's called Liquor Box.
So then why don't you go? Did you ask them for shirts or something, or that's not good enough?
I didn't stop there. I haven't been there. I just love the name.
All right, looks like we're all out on that one. So what is next? What would you like to try?
We can try the ones that I brought.
Yes,
the beers that I brought.
let's do that.
Break those out real quick.
We kind of over bought stuff for this specific episode because we thought another guy was going to be here.
Weasonator said, "Where's Matt?" You're gonna want to text him if you want.
Yeah, text him. Yeah. You'll find out. So we have a lot to try. So if we don't get to all of it, I think it's okay. A coffee porter. Did he bring one for each of us?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
He's going crazy, dude.
Well, no, I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, nothing.
You guys can say the rest if you want. Or
no, a porter that's only 6%.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it. It's not too heavy.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted something a little bit easier for us to drink. So, but yeah, I've had this one before. It's really good, especially if you like coffee and porters.
I do.
Smog City is really good. Really good brewery.
Dude, this came out of your bag. It's colder than what came out of the fridge.
Does it matter to you?
What's it? No, it's all fine. This is cool. Yeah. You're already one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, sir.
All right, and then with porters, you flip it upside down for a second.
I don't do that. I've never had an issue.
Oh, I've always done it, but
I'll do it just to.
I've heard because they're thicker, but 6%. I think
that was the thing. I literally had it upside down because I figured maybe something settled. I'm just gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
Ooh,
everybody,
it smells like just black coffee
from Smog City Brewing. Their coffee porter, robust porter with coffee, and their logo is a robot.
Dude, it smells just like espresso beans. That's crazy, dude.
Sure,
flip mine sideways.
Yeah. This one is
Here. Well, you get all of them now. Chug.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't get to try this one.
Oh, you can try it. We have it.
You like it?
Okay, here.
Nice.
Just kidding.
So this one is a robust porter is brewed with locally roasted, fair trade, organic coffee, exciting your senses like the ultimate chocolate-covered espresso bean in a glass. We blend delicious roasted chocolate malt with a heavy dose of coffee for a triumph of creation that will power up your senses and leave you craving more. And one of the reasons why I picked this specific can, it was just canned on October 25th.
Really? Less than a month away. That's crazy.
Fresh.
What does it say at the bottom? Oh, independent craft. Yeah. A lot of people get. Oh, he broke the rules.
Sorry. Cheers. Cheers.
Boop. It literally tastes like I'm chewing on espresso beans, but without the actual mush in your mouth.
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely smooth. It's got an acidity to it, though. Like a coffee acidity, though.
Yeah, it tastes. It literally just tastes like I'm drinking a cold brew coffee.
Yeah.
That's really crazy good, dude.
Did you want the rest of this one, Olga? There's only a little bit left. You sure?
Dude, it's only 6%. Like, you could drink a whole one of these and still be fine.
I don't mind if you want the rest of it. It's totally cool.
You can have mine, though.
Okay.
She's going to double fist it.
Double fist.
To
the dragons. There's 2 dragons. It's 2 dragons. TZ. That sounded bomb.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking good. It's literally like I'm eating.
Rec likes the can. You want to show them the can a little closer?
Yeah, go close.
Let's see. Right there.
Oh, cover our faces.
Hold on.
Not you. You're good, Joseph.
Go in and then back out, Olga. Then back out. Come on. Keep going back out. It's not catching it. Hold on, keep going back out. Don't see my face, Ken. No.
Oh, there it is.
No, it didn't
No,
get
not
it.
yet. Oh, whatever.
It's all right. No, it's not getting it. Yeah.
So a good pick. Approved.
There's tech. Yeah, approved.
Nice.
Approved.
Yeah, it's dude. So every porter I've ever had is just super thick for the sake of being thick.
Yeah.
This is the kind of porter I think I would like the most.
Yeah.
It literally tastes like I'm drinking cold brew coffee.
Yeah. Like I don't mind the ones that are like higher proof, heavier hitting, a little bit thicker, but I'll drink a smaller portion.
Yeah.
But this one for a 16-ounce can, the 6% and the I guess you could say for what's the word you used to describe it? It's not thick, but it's just lighter, I guess.
Yeah, lighter.
Yeah, lighter.
Skinnier.
Yeah,
I guess. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I would have saw a porter with 6%, I would have looked at it and just set it right back down. It's not something that I would even have picked up. Maybe because there's a cool robot on the can. Like I would have been like, "Oh, robot!
Yeah,
Let's get the robot."
A droid.
But the whole idea of like a 6% porter tells me that it's gross. Like it's too thin to be enjoyable. A proper porter or an enjoyable.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I'm glad I got to try it because now if I see a 6% porter, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that last one was fucking awesome. Let's try it out."
No tech. Maybe Sunday.
That bottled by date, yeah.
Yeah. Always look. Yes.
You won't.
Yeah. You wanna the rule of thumb. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Oh, so we know Brandon doesn't look at those dates.
Oh no, for sure not.
That rancid.
Yeah. I just buy the dustiest, grossest looking thing.
Literally dusty.
I was just going to mention, I think from what I've learned, you want to try to buy anything that's 6 months or less than that. So anything over 6 months, you want to stay away from. Yeah.
I have an idea that I think would go great with these chocolate coffee porters, and that's extra chocolate chip cookies that our very own Way Fast Whitey made for us.
With love.
Way Fast Whitey couldn't join us tonight for personal reasons, and we don't think any worse of him for the wear, but he did bake us cookies.
They look great.
And they look and smell like he used entirely too much flour. I'm sure they're great, but I think with the chocolate porter, I think they'll pair very well with him.
Rex said, we can make bunghole liquor by boofing and then drinking it. That's bunghole liquor. Ugh, gross.
Why would you scroll up for that? That's my bunghole liquor joke. That's why. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these cookies. Dude, this thing is a pound. It's literally a pound.
Matt goes hard with these, huh?
Yeah. They're not golden brown except on the bottom, which is a perfect cookie to me, at least.
Nice and soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to have one, Shorty?
Are you not going to have one, Joseph?
I've already had one. They're great.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh.
It's more like cake.
Mm-hmm.
If cookie was a cake, this would be that.
If my grandma was a bicycle.
You want some help there, Brandon? Let me help you out.
Are they cannabis brownies? No.
Cookies? They're not.
No.
Because first of all, they're cookies, idiot.
I said I mean brownies, but no. I'm sure that was Matt's other batch.
Maybe. I don't know if he bakes with weed. But yeah, they're very cakey. I really dig that.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like a pound.
Oh, man, these are great.
Yeah. Now I'm going to try it with the porter. And
Matt's a great cook. He's really good with the smoker and just just following directions to make food actually come out good.
Tell Brandon I said, fuck you. I'm not going to tell him that. That's mean. But fuck you with love?
So one time Matt's all like, hey, I'm making tacos tonight. You and Olga should come. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And then also, racist. Just kidding. But we went anyways. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, we're going to make them with, it was birria tacos.
Yeah.
But he was doing something different with it to try to make it more, to amp up the taste. And then we ate them and they tasted okay, like just fine, right? And then Matt was just like mad because then when he tasted them, he goes, they don't taste as good as I thought they were gonna taste for the ingredients that I use, and he was mad.
We've been over there where he's barbecued some burgers for us, and they're fantastic.
Mhm.
Everything I've had from his kitchen is really good.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you look at Matt and think he doesn't have any special skills.
No.
Like he's the most plain Jane I've ever met, but his cooking skills are out of this world. Like everything I've had has been phenomenal.
So that's what he should have done in his time off. Let's say, get better at it, and then do like one of those ghost kitchens on Instagram.
Sure.
Mm.
My teeth are killing me though.
Have you ever ordered from a ghost kitchen or anything like that? Maybe Jordan.
I know about them, but I've never tried it before. What about you?
Mm-mm.
So a ghost kitchen isn't really something you try. It's like something that I feel is an underhanded attempt to get more sales for another restaurant.
Mm.
Like Cosmic Wings. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to try some Cosmic Wings. I was all stoned one night and I was like, oh, these Cosmic Wings look so good.
Were those Applebee's or?
Yeah, it was literally just Applebee's chicken wings.
Mm.
And I was like, it's so deceiving to me. Just tell me it's Applebee's chicken wings.
All of them are ghost kitchens. That's Apple. That's the corporation that's trying to fake it.
Yeah, that
right. But there are real ghost kitchens. Like I read about one where you can only pick up their food in a specific time window that you've ordered like a time in advance, and they lower it from a window in an apartment building.
Okay.
Yeah, there's real ones. That's like my neighbor actually would do bakeries, like not bakery, like sweets, and it was all customized. There's the ones with the shell that you break, the chocolate shell, and there's more stuff inside and all that. And you can order right through Instagram. You just tell her what you want, and she'll make it. And at least for us, we just walk over and knock on the door, and she gives it to us. Otherwise, people will drive up, and then they just get them from her, and then they drive off.
Oh,
Like
I had a friend that was trying to start a company with not popular chefs, but semi well-known chefs where they would cook food out of their own home and you would go to their home and pick up plates. So you would order like you would in a restaurant, like chicken with foie gras butter and blah, 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 and a plate of greens. And you would pay like $12 or something and then go to their actual house and they would serve a to-go plate of their food. But they were like Michelin star chefs that were selling food out of their garage, basically. It was a cool idea, but I don't think it took off.
I feel like that could work for the kind of ones that want to experiment, but they don't want to do that in their professional
Exactly.
setting.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So basically, it was probably a way for these chefs to get like a read on people, like to like find the pulse of like what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. It just didn't work out very well. Mm-hmm. It started right before COVID, and then you would think in COVID it would be bigger, but because everybody was delivering and trying to pick up things without touching people.
During COVID time, I saw, like, towards the end of it, I actually saw, it was an article about, I'm not sure if it was county of Riverside or somewhere close, that they approved permits for people to run restaurants out of, like, their garages. And I'm like, oh, I know somebody that could take advantage of that. That could have been Matt, maybe. You know, something like that. You're saying it's that good.
I mean, everything I've had from him has been good. I've never been disappointed in eating food at Matt's house, but I could also stop that sentence halfway and say I've never been disappointing in eating.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said too about being, having a meal cooked by a good friend that like going to their home. And I'm not saying like, I guess there is a little bit of bias involved because, hey, this is my friend. They're making this food for me. Like part of your brain is telling you like, you're going to enjoy it.
You have to.
Yeah. You
legally enjoy it.
Yeah, you are obligated to enjoy this meal. But on the other side of that, when your friend's making it and they're putting in a lot of effort, like Matt does. Yeah. It's crazy. I've actually read or seen like some videos or some articles about that when people do cook food and do put like effort into it, like love and effort, that does translate to the experience of the food that you're
100%.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, totally.
I make chili dogs sometimes.
With love?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're great. and then my one of my brother-in-laws.
My wife goes, "That smells bad."
No. So wait. Chili dogs smells bad to her?
No, you're
a joke here. No.
You've never heard of a chili dog?
I thought we were talking about food here.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
No, we're not. but now we are again. So speaking of which, is that I got like a bunch of free packs of Tillamook cheese.
Oh, I love Tillamook.
Oh, it's a good. Yeah, that's good stuff, dude.
The mixed cheese with cheddar and mozzarella and all that.
Pre-shredded?
No blocks.
Oh, the blocks is the best.
It was a bunch of the pre-shredded stuff, and then also a lot the little blocks,
Okay.
the little squares.
Yeah.
And I've been using that stuff in the chili dogs that I make.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Tillamook, I think it's the bright red package. It might be the black one. I can't remember. But the extra sharp Tillamook block of cheddar is the best cheese you could buy for your at-home use on anything. Quesadillas. I said that on purpose.
I could tell.
Mac and cheese, white people taco night, literally everything, grilled cheese sandwiches. It just takes it to another level, that being extra sharp. And the Tillamook, it's so creamy and it melts so nicely that it's really good.
Can I stop for a second?
Nope.
I didn't start doing white people taco night until Olga started doing stuff. Are you familiar with it?
With what?
White people taco night.
No.
Really?
Please educate me.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's just white people taco night.
I love.
That's my preferred kind of taco night.
I wouldn't call it preferred, but man, I enjoy it very much.
Okay.
So it's the basics, right? Ground beef from the store.
Take your ground beef from the grocery store, and your iceberg lettuce from the grocery store, and your shredded cheese from the grocery store.
It's pretty much that.
It's all the stuff that they lay out,
and the hard shells that you see in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
okay.
and then you stick those in like
the oven, the toaster oven.
The toaster oven
to warm up the shells.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you break out those little trays that hold tacos?
I mean, you can.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the.
I feel like Forest Paris have those.
Yeah, probably. I get the ones that stand on their own. So
I just put my tacos. I make a little like a little sun. You put the one in the middle, and then one at 45, and then one at 90, and then 45 and 90, and then you have like a nice little half circle.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like sunset.
Yeah.
But like Olga gets it, and then she throws the Taco Bell seasoning in there.
Oh my god, that Taco Bell seasoning! It's so good.
Like that's the thing that I like. Yeah.
We all have regular ass tacos. We're from Southern California. But white people taco night holds a special place in my heart.
Man, I learned something new.
You've never, like with the ground beef, that you just got like 70-30 ground beef and you cook it until there's no fat left.
Sure.
And then put the Taco Bell seasoning in it. And then you have chopped up iceberg shitty lettuce on the side.
So what you mean to tell me is that
it's like build your own taco station.
Taco Bell sells a seasoning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and their sauce.
They sell sauce and shells.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't use their shells though.
I don't either.
They don't make the standing ones.
No.
But like now I get flavored shells, and I discovered that the shells that are what is the Hot Cheetos competitor that I can't remember the name?
Takis.
Takis.
Yeah.
The Takis flavored shells have that like hint of lime on the outside of it that goes super well with these tacos. I'm like, what the? And they stand. So, like I said, the base is wide. The only problem is if you try to open it to get more meat in it, they just go, and then you're like, no. Yeah.
Man, that's why we go a little bit harder on white people taco night, and we just get the Mission tortillas and just fry one side, and that way the middle is very flexible, and you can put as much as you want.
And that's how we know he's white.
Yeah.
Mission tortillas.
Yeah, I mean, only for white people taco night though, because
okay.
The normal tortillas we buy, we go to like the Cardenas or the Northgate, and they're the uncooked cooked ones. So you have to cook them yourself, but you're not actually pressing the matzah.
But they're like the fresh.
But they're the fresh ones that you have to cook yourself, and those are the best tortillas on the planet. But not Mission, just for ease of use, you get a bag of them and you can fry one side, and then the middle is fungible.
Let me tell you something. After having all that Thanksgiving food yesterday and leftovers today, going from that to like talking about tacos is making me really crave tacos. Like, because it's so different. It's so on the other side of the spectrum compared to the turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, all that. So we start talking about these tacos.
You get all the white people Thanksgiving meals with ham and turkey, and it's all starchy, salty bullshit.
Yeah, carby.
Tacos are always so light and flavorful and saucy and
crunchy.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
They hit
I get
all
what you're saying.
Yeah.
all the sensories.
Yeah.
except
Right.
for except for the sweetness, but that's the soda, I guess.
Well, I mean, birria is very sweet.
Like sweet beer. Yeah,
I mean,
know what you're talking about.
I'm okay with it, but it does happen. It's sweeter than any of the other. Well, I guess I'm gonna butcher this, but El Pastor is very sweet.
That's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
And like they serve it with the freaking pineapple on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Rex said it's just regular taco night. There's no white people taco night. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just taco night unless you're in our house.
The neighbors made tacos, sent some over. Oh, Ryu got tacos.
Fuck
tonight.
yeah. Oh man,
Send
I
some
want.
over.
And now we need to have Matt on the next.
We're just trying his food.
Yeah.
He needs to bring down some food, and he can make tacos.
Yeah,
It'll
cooking
be
stream.
GTE or the pre-show will be the preparation,
Yeah,
right? So we're streaming the pre-show,
Okay.
and then we end the stream and start over, and we're in here,
Okay.
and now it's the trying of the food of the official stream. Okay, I like what we're doing there.
Okay.
when you do white people taco night, do you?
Sorry,
He just filled his e-tank. Do you have leftovers usually?
no,
With tacos, never.
no.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we always make entirely too much, but I always make too much because the next day I make shitty white people burritos out of the same mission tortillas, and then I just fold them into little burritos, and I really like it. But if you don't have leftovers, then I guess
Speaking of burritos, dude, I've been wanting to get like a bomb breakfast burrito. Like, you love breakfast burritos?
more than just about anything.
Yeah, those are.
Breakfast burritos are the tits.
Breakfast burritos to me are better than just regular burritos.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Something about the egg in the burrito
Yes.
makes it
Yeah.
that sensory. You can bite it easier, and it's very light. Who has a good breakfast burrito though?
That's what I was wondering.
The
Yeah.
Farmer Boys.
Farmer
do.
Boys. They
They
do.
do,
They
huh?
have one called the pig, or
That's all the bacony one, right?
no, it's like all the meats.
Uh,
Oh, it's so good. Oh, Miguel Junior's has really good breakfast
Really?
burritos.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Good to know.
They make a
look at
green
Olga
pig.
right
I
now.
don't think I've tried
Oh,
those
okay, he
before.
said Miguel's has good.
Miguel Junior's. Oh,
She said,
well, you're an
nah,
idiot.
Negative.
Farmer Boys is trash, said Rick. Okay,
No.
he said gold. Oh, okay, Gold Star.
Oh, Gold Star has really good pastrami hamburgers.
Okay.
I haven't had their breakfast burritos yet.
Okay, now you got to try the breakfast.
Yeah.
burgers. But apparently George's Drive-In.
The
has
one
good
with all the chili fries?
yeah, the chili fries. one,
George's
yes.
Fries and Grinders, or whatever it's called. The one that
Yeah,
used to have a
no.
red sign and now it's blue.
Yeah, but it just says George's Drive-In.
Oh, I thought it said George's chili fries. Oh, their chili fries
The
are
chili
really
fries,
good, but they're
yes.
spicy.
No, they're not. They are good though. They're a little spicy.
Okay.
But,
Have you ever had their chili fries, Joseph?
I've never.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like I know where we're going after GTE. We're either finding a taco dude on the side of the street or we're going to George's.
But they also have a fantastic pastrami burger. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite
Pastrami's
things.
good, too.
Have you had a pastrami burger?
Pastrami sandwich, but I don't think
Okay.
it's pastrami burger.
You got to go to these little twin kitchens.
Twin
Gus
Bakers?
Baker's doesn't have pastrami though.
No,
That's the only
Baker's.
problem. Gus Junior's, Tam's, Tom's number whatever.
Tom's.
Yeah, like all of them have. They all the Mexican American kitchens where they have hamburgers and Mexican food. They always have something called a colossal burger, and it's just a bunch of pastrami on top of a cheeseburger. Oh, it's one of the best things you can get.
Or the Greek ones.
Or the Greek ones have it
The
too.
Greek ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Mad Greek.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mad
But
Greek
George-
or Lucky Greek?
Lucky Greek.
Lucky Greek.
Well,
Mad
George-
Greek, I feel like is a.
Still the same. They're all like broke off from the same
But I would
family.
say it's a twin
Yeah.
kitchen, right?
I would say so, but yeah, but not Mexican. Well, they have Mexican too, but they also have Greek. Like at George's, which is also Greek. If it says George, it's Greek.
Is it?
Yes.
George's traditionally Greek?
I don't know why, but around here, all the restaurants with George in the name are Greek.
Olga, fact checked. Fact check that if it's. Oh, yeah, cool.
She just
like,
the
yeah.
fact check is she just said yeah.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
But that's what I've heard. But from her, from my father-in-law, and he knew the people who founded George.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and that he's like the originator essentially, because that one's been there for like 50 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, I got a euro from them.
Nice. I love Euros.
I love
Yeah.
I love yours too.
It was pretty good, but the one from Sam's Pita and Kebab that's right next to Lowe's, like across the street.
Yeah.
way up here.
Yeah.
Way up here.
Wait,
They're way up here.
The Lowe's here in Riverside?
Yeah, the one on Magnolia.
Okay, Sam's Pizza and Kebab. I discovered it
Never
a while
been
ago.
there.
I discovered it a while ago on Yelp because I'm like, what kind of restaurant has like over 100 plus ratings and is 5 out of 5 in Riverside on Yelp?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know.
And now I know why.
The certainty that you just said that. Mm-hmm. It was well done. It was a good face.
Good reaction.
But the Euros, if you get a Euro plate, it's got everything, man. You get the little salad, you get the hummus, you get all the meat.
When did you figure out that they were called Euros?
A long time ago.
They
Because I've always called them gyros until about the last 3 or 4 years when I found out that they were actually pronounced Euros.
Yeah. So if you go to Lucky Greek on their menu, they actually tell you in parentheses how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I've always called them gyros.
Yeah. I mean,
And I've never been corrected, but the last like 4 or 5 years, people are like, no, it's Euro.
Mhm.
Okay, Dick. It says GYR. That's gyro.
But depending on which Mediterranean country you're looking at, some are Euro, some are Hero.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
But none of them are
There's only really
gyros.
left to come with the rest of it, dude.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
That's more than a little bit.
oh, sorry. Yeah, not too bad.
The legs on this are just like
Yeah.
they're there.
It's the coffee.
Yeah. Oh.
What Rec doesn't like that I said it was Farmer Wars has good breakfast burritos.
They do though. There's one I think it's called like the Hog.
Shorty would know actually. She used to get them all the time.
The hog?
Shorty, what's the all meat Farmer Boy's breakfast burrito? You don't remember. I know, but back you used to get them all the time.
I used to get them all the time at Farmer Boys because I remember when I was growing up. This had to have been 15 years ago because my dad was still with us. But he used to go get them, and I feel like they were only like $5, and that was expensive at the time. And now they're like 14.
Jeez.
Who the fuck is paying $14 for a breakfast burrito?
Well, me.
Yeah, I mean, I will once in a while.
Once in a while.
It's a sporadic. I feel like Hog heaven.
Hog heaven.
I feel like every time I go to Farmer Boys, it's kind of not a special occasion, but I feel like, okay, I'll pay $40 for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to normally, but
I really like the whole spicy chicken sandwich phenomenon that sort of happened not too long ago. And then Farmer Boys got one. I'm like,
Yeah,
I was going to try
thing?
it.
That was a thing?
Oh, yeah. Popeye started it.
Okay.
Popeyes, and then
Like KFC.
Chick-fil-A was involved in a little bit of it. But it used to be that like the Popeyes delivery truck would get there on Wednesday, and by Wednesday at like 10:30 at night, they would just be completely sold out of chicken sandwiches for the week.
Wow.
Like they would sell out because it was so good.
And every fast food joint either reworked one of their already existing spicy chicken sandwiches to be the new spicy chicken sandwich to compete with it, or they created one. Like KFC came up with one as well.
Okay.
And I've tried like a handful of them, and Popeyes and KFC were like neck and neck to me, and everything else is just slightly below. But then Farmer Boys came out, and theirs is neck and neck. But when I paid $14 for it, I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
For a chicken breast.
So this is what I would do. If I was in a situation where I really wanted to try something that was very popular at a certain time and point, like a spicy chicken sandwich, I would just go to Matt and be like, can you hook us up with a homemade...
But you have to realize...
You're just hanging out at Matt's house. Get to work.
Yeah. But you got to realize, so I've tried this. Like, oh, these places are doing this. Let's say it's a chicken sandwich. So to buy chicken breast for everybody, to bread it, to cook it, to the bread, the condiments, you got to have fries or chips or something on the side. You're paying much more than $14 a serving to have it homemade. It's going to be better.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you're paying so much more to have it homemade.
And yes. And the fact that you can, like, there's no, like, so say if you were to get it like at a drive-through, you don't have to worry, unless you're super hungry, you start eating it in the car. But there's no wait. You could just, as soon as you're done making it, you
just get to eat it.
Yeah, you just get to go at it.
And then you look back at the chaos of dishes you left behind, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Yesterday was a rough day. We had. So I don't cook anything. I let my wife handle it because she really likes doing it. So that obviously means that I do dishes.
Yeah, that's like the rule.
Yeah,
it's the rule.
She should not have to be in there fucking cleaning after she dirtied all the dishes. So I was doing it, Dude, I was in there, I would say, for just about as long as she was cooking everything. I was cleaning. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to be a good husband anymore. I just want to go play video games. But yeah, just the amount of time cleaning afterwards, after cleaning for cooking for 10 people, you're just like, this is dumb. Like how much you use. I just want to order out everything now. Then you dirty nothing.
Order out a dishwasher?
I already have a wife.
No. Your rules state she doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's true. I try to always clean when she cooks. It makes it a little bit nicer. And I don't always do it, but I try.
What's your favorite dish that is home cooked in your home?
Oh man, that's really hard.
That's a hard question.
That's I mean, one minute we're talking about Thanksgiving, dinner, then we're talking about tacos, then we're talking about breakfast burritos, and I enjoy
everything.
Yeah, all those things.
Popcorn.
It just depends on like your mood.
Yeah,
really like
agreed.
No one's gonna be like, I love tacos so much that's all I'm gonna eat all year long. You'd be sick of it by a week.
You would think so. I've had top ramen every day for the past 15 years. Every day, just about. Some days I miss sometimes, but most of the time, that's where most of this comes from, is the sodium from the top ramen. I'm positive. And I've been eating the same flavor top ramen for the past 5 years.
Dang.
All roast beef every single day. And I'm not sick.
I used to eat them like without cooking it. I'd take it out of the pack, pour some powder, put some lime juice or lemon juice on it.
And that would kind of cook it. That would make it a little bit softer. Mm-hmm. But you would crush it first, right?
Nope.
You would just bite off the brick. Yeah. We used to do that. Kind of like how you're eating a burrito. You would take a little corner of the packet off and just shake it on what you're going to bite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the burrito method.
Balsonic said they have a new hack for Thanksgiving that they do every year now. It's called Cater the Bitch.
Mm-hmm. One year we had Boston Market cater our Thanksgiving.
Oh, how was that?
Fucking, I was a kid. I was probably 10 or 11. Mm-hmm. I still remember it. I still talk about it.
It left that much of a lasting impression.
Yeah.
Core memory unlocked.
Well, dude, nobody cooked. Nobody yelled at each other. Nobody had to do dishes.
No stress.
None.
Yeah.
It was like we showed up, we ate as much as we could possibly eat, and then we just sat there and watched whatever the fuck was on TV. Like, there was no yelling and screaming. There was no politics. Nobody had to be in the kitchen all day. It was a really good family Thanksgiving.
Nice.
But it was Boston Market, so it couldn't have been great. Right?
I thought they were pretty good, but I've only ever had them once in my life, I think. So finishing that cookie was a journey.
I'm still fucking... Dude, it's hard.
So when Matt messaged me, I don't know if he put it in the chat or he messaged me directly. He said, these are his words, each cookie is a meal itself.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
This has to be 800 or 900 calories easily.
Oh, I'm at least 500.
That's why Joseph didn't need another one.
Yeah, exactly. He's very conscious about that. We were going to go to the movie theater to go see the new Hunger Games, Ballad of Song and Snakes.
Are you going to talk about the TikTok that said it's Star Wars?
No.
Okay.
Because we're not talking about that. We're talking about food.
Okay, go on.
And they have something called the Popcorn Duo. And it's 1/2 caramel corn, 1/2 cheddar popcorn, and it's a large. And it's $19. How many calories do you think is in that bucket of popcorn?
3,000.
So close.
2,000.
3,800.
Fuck.
That's more than my daily allotment of calories in one popcorn.
And that's like almost no protein.
None.
Just carbs.
Yeah.
Carbs and glycemic impact.
Yeah, dude. I would eat that whole thing probably before the movie started.
And cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
Bad name of the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I saw it and I was like, 3,800? Like that's literally
That
2 full
should be-
days of normal caloric intake.
This is what's crazy about what's like allowed, to be purchased for people to consume like, in one sitting. Like that's insane. 3,800 calories of just pure carbs.
Sugar and carbs, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I was going to buy it until I saw the 3,800. And luckily we have that law in place where it has to show the caloric content so I could make an informed decision. Mm-hmm. Because before that law, I would have just bought it and consumed it and felt like shit for 2 days and wondered, man, all I had was popcorn.
You would think
4,000 calories worth of popcorn. You don't even think about it.
Joseph, are you familiar with the way that Mexico does advertising for food that it knows is, or consumables that are universally known as bad for you?
no.
No, tell them about the cigarettes.
Oh, with the gum disease on the pack?
The Mexican cigarettes look like it's a advertisement for like a horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a
It's like this causes... No, it says like this causes gum disease, and it'll show you fucked up teeth. This causes heart disease, and it'll show somebody with an exploded chest with their heart like black. Like every single pack. I tried to collect them all, and it didn't work.
Yeah, so it's that's how they do approach to certain things like that too. And it's like out here it's like here's a number, but down there it's like here's a number and some images to show you what that's like if you do too much
Google
of it.
images.
Yeah.
Like, for you.
Yeah. And then some cereal. I think it's in Mexico. It might be in Spain, and I think it's taking over in Europe too. They're not allowed to have mascots on their cereal. So like Lucky the Leprechaun or Sunny the Cuckoo or Toucan Sam, none of them. They're not allowed to have cartoony, kid-friendly mascots on their cereal trying to sell their cereal to little kids.
That sounds like Europe.
I think that's really cool. And the Pringles guy doesn't exist there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Any mascot on food you're not allowed to have. So I guess I misled and buried the lead when I said just cereal, but I couldn't think of any others.
That's that's cool, but that also like makes it where they got to get more creative with the way
like
they
you can't have
advertise.
Chef Boyardee on cans. That's weird to me.
What about just the name?
Yeah. The
Brand.
name is fine, but Chef Boyardee is an actual dude. Like I guess Harlan Sanders can't be on the bucket of chicken.
I see. So they can't just use like visual representations of people to advertise.
None, because kids
not
fall in
real.
love with that little kid, that little leprechaun, or that little chef, and they go, "I want the chef," and it's just bad for you, so they don't do it. Like whoever fucking agreed that like a bowl of cereal and a glass of orange juice was a good breakfast, because it's not. It's just super high in sugar and calories.
I remember.
Or
this,
a Pop-Tart.
I remember this.
Who the
being
fuck
little.
decided that the literal Pop-Tarts were breakfast?
All these breakfast products? I remember this from very, very little. They all say the same thing, and nobody.
Part of a balanced breakfast.
That's it. Part of a balanced breakfast, but nobody pays attention to that part in terms of actually consuming it.
Because everybody I know, they'd grab a pack of Pop-Tarts and leave the house.
Yeah,
that's a dessert at the very least. Like, there's no reason you should be getting your kid Pop-Tarts.
What was your breakfast food, Joseph? Like the quick grab and go. Let's say earlier in life.
Quick grab, probably like toast.
Toast?
Yeah. Sourdough toast with a little bit of butter.
Sourdough toast, a little bit of butter, maybe a little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Something.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Mine were toaster strudels, which is just fancy Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
That's like the next level.
Yeah.
Tier like, oh man, watch out.
But so it's gonna sound healthy in the beginning, but not in the end. I would eat them without the icing because they'd have an individual packet of icing for every single cereal you would get. And I would eat the first 7 or 8 of them with no icing because the last one could be all the icing.
That's the one you drown.
Yeah, you could make all 9 packets on one toaster strudel.
Did you see any strudel at all? Or was
No.
it completely covered?
It was like my first bukkake.
Phil Nick said, "Oh my God, you guys actually got breakfast?"
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think I've
always.
eaten actual breakfast in years. I mean, I'll have a breakfast burrito here and there, but most of the time I'm eating it at like noon.
Yeah,
I try not to eat breakfast.
Yeah, like for me, it's just coffee, like black coffee. Yeah. That's it. And then
I say, yeah, I drink black coffee, but then I never have it anymore. Like I like black coffee. Like this was a good stout. I like black nitro coffee. I'll put heavy cream in it and then a bunch of fucking Poison Splenda. But it's not Splenda. What's the new one? That's the new healthier one.
It's not
Stevia.
new. Stevia.
Yeah.
Stevia. It's not new. It's always been
around.
But there's another one too.
It's a fad that my doctor told me about.
No. Let me ask you this: is your doctor fit?
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe he might have something there that maybe he knows something I
don't. Who he just told me to stop drinking sugar in entirety. Yeah. Because I would have 8 sugars in my giant fucking coffee every day.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, how about we we just do sugar-free vanilla, a little bit of simple syrup or whatever their Starbucks syrup, and then stevia and the raw. Just do 2 packs, and I do that, and it's just as sweet. It just doesn't taste
The same.
The same.
Not the same, yeah.
But it still tastes good. And I don't feel like dying afterwards.
Balsamic said, and then there's the Rockstar, right? And right next to you say that.
Sugar-free.
So
everything I drink is sugar-free. I'm still getting a bunch of the poison and all the carcinogens of a regular Rockstar, but my diabetes isn't affected. Everything else is affected.
So there's another sugar substitute that I've heard of that it's to me, the benefits of it sound like there's no negatives as much, but it's not as strong
Always
as
a negative.
things like stevia or Splenda or whatever it is that is. Erythritol, I think it is.
Oh,
I've heard that one.
Yeah,
But
I've heard of it. I don't know what
ERYTHRITOL. And now that's being used in more and more stuff, but it's more expensive than the others.
Yeah.
So you don't see it that often, and you'll never see packets of it.
We went to breakfast a week or two ago with Brandy and Wayne and John and Sarah, and you were supposed to go, but you had slept in or gone to church or one of those two things. I don't remember. And I ordered my coffee, and I said, "Hey, do you guys have stevia in the raw or Splenda?" And Brandy was like, "Don't be putting that poison in your body." And I was like, "You know me. Look how much poison I put in my body on a daily basis. Do you think I really care about this one cup of coffee with the poison in it?" Like, I just thought it was funny because she was like, "You're putting poison in." I'm like, I consistently put poison in my body.
Then you drink the Rockstar. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
He's seen me walk into Rad
free Rockstar.
Yeah, he's seen me walk into Rad Coffee with a sugar-free Red Bull, ordering the Great White.
That was the first thing, like the juxtaposition when we went to a coffee shop and he had a Rockstar in his hand and ordered their giant ass coffee, and I'm like, that's hilarious to me.
And then I had a panic attack.
Yeah,
we learned that if I have 4 shots of espresso, it gives me a panic attack. Caffeine in the general sense doesn't, but espresso for some reason.
Probably just because it's concentrated.
Yeah, but we get what I get from Rad Coffee is called the Great White, and it's 4 shots of espresso, the vanilla syrup, and caramel. So I'm sure all that sugar and the espresso all in one thing. I'm just like, I'm gonna die.
I avoid that one.
Yeah,
like everybody.
But it tastes so good.
You've convinced everybody of that, but the one that I like, that's a 16-ounce cold brew that's like kind of like prepared. It's really good, and because it's cold brew, it's already strong without needing espresso.
True. I'm gonna start something new called the Black Glove Effect. I feel like all these close. I feel like all these places, like Joseph, in the last 3 or 4 years, like how much have you paid for a haircut?
Almost none.
Okay, but if you're gonna go out, like, what's a fair amount you think for a haircut?
For a haircut, I mean, for a guy, probably $20.
Okay, $20.
High five this guy.
What's up?
Yeah,
I'm about to high five you for either next to nothing or only up to $20.
Yeah.
Well, I said next to nothing because I cut my own hair.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I don't. I go to a place, and within the last 3 or 4 years, it's increased exponentially. It was $20, and now they have a ring light and black gloves, and it's $40. You're shaving the sides of my head.
The luxury.
Now the coffee places that we go to, it used to be $3 or $4 for a cup of coffee. Now they have black gloves and ring lights, and it's $10 for a coffee. The donut shops we go to now have black gloves and neon lights. It's $14 for a donut. They put black gloves on and they think they could charge triple for something, no matter what it is. I don't know if you've noticed it, but if you cut your own hair, I can't imagine that you do.
Yeah, I've not noticed that.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm going to start calling it the black glove effect because they all have the black gloves. Have you noticed?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks fancy and clean. But stop charging me $50 for a haircut.
So I do have another item that we have to track down for another GTE. And so I was looking at El Gordo's Instagram, and he's just coming out with a new, what was it, Shorty? Chamoy covered peanuts that were also covered in the powder that he uses.
What is this again?
Okay.
El Gordo's.
Chamoy. So have you had chamoy?
I'm going to take a quick break, guys.
It's a spicy powder on a sweet syrup kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You usually get them in like Mexican ice creams or Mexican sweets stores or products. But it's sweet. I'm not a big chamoy fan, old guys. But like you've seen micheladas and they have that like rim.
Yeah, that rim of...
That's chamoy. Most of the time it's chamoy.
Gotcha.
So it's sweet. And he's doing it on, was it chocolate covered peanuts, I think. So it's like multi-layered, supposedly spicy goodness. I like that. It's like the house lighter for the cigarette. and he, there it is. On video.
It looks like a cool effect.
And so, yeah, anyways, Gordo makes a lot of good stuff, little snacks, Michelada cups and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like I've actually seen, I think in some of the thumbnails for your podcast of that cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a good spot.
Yeah. Well, not a spot. It's products at liquor stores all around.
I thought it was like a restaurant or something like that when I saw the cup.
No, I mean, I can imagine him doing like a pop-up restaurant, but not a permanent. Oh, well, he does have a trailer that he made that he caters, and then they do all the stuff out of the back of a trailer.
Oh, okay.
So, not that different.
Yeah. Like a food truck type of thing.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Cool. So, what else you got?
What do you mean?
What else you got in that thing?
Oh, that's pretty much it.
That was it?
Yeah,
okay,
that was pretty much it.
Then we can try the Club Tills next. We'll wait for Brandon to come back on that one. Let's see. Balsonic says, this 6-shot espresso on ice, instant panic attack? Yeah, dude. The Pedro Pascal drink. Have you heard what he drinks?
No. What is
6 shots of espresso over ice.
Oh, my goodness.
8 shots? Jeez.
That is insane. Is that like before he like works, like goes on set?
That's got to be it. So, drive the energy.
Okay.
And then he just goes back to his trailer and passes out.
Jeez. What did you mention what you had for breakfast when we were talking about things that we do? I said toast. Brandon said toast.
It was Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, it was 6 shots. She got fact checked. You got fact checked. Yeah. But it was Pop-Tarts, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was most of the time it was Pop-Tarts. That's but what was funny is that we would get Pop-Tarts, but we would never get Lunchables.
Oh wow. That's weird.
Because he made me think like, wait a second, Pop-Tarts means we had money? No. I guess Toaster Strudel meant that.
Well, we were just talking about Toaster Strudel being like the tier up.
Yeah.
Like, that was like above.
No, wasn't price wise tier up?
I don't know.
About the same price. So well then,
but so here's the thing. To me, the commercials, the way that the commercials were, and the fact that it showcased this extra packet of the
is a luxury item.
Yeah, it was like it made it seem like a luxury brand.
Yeah.
So
well, that was that. So we like Lunchables once every couple of years. Mm-hmm. That was my experience with it.
Yeah.
And of course I liked the pizza one, but it was always disappointing.
Oh, very, very disappointing. Yeah. We don't talk about that one.
The nachos too, I didn't like those.
Nachos? I didn't know they had a nachos Lunchables. Dang. I did like those the breadstick cheese dip things. If you know the ones I'm talking about. There was like little it was a rectangular package, and you peel the plastic off the top, and then had the sticks that you dip into the cheese. No?
I believe I've probably had that maybe at least once.
MRE pizza.
MRE pizza.
I have tried MREs on stream before. This might be an opportunity to try them again. Bring some MREs back in. So that would be an interesting experience.
I wonder how Matt would do making an MRE meal.
I mean, realistically, an MRE is break the heat packet to where it starts warming up, and then put it together in a certain way in it, and it heats it up, and then yeah. Because Balsanic said you need to try the MRE pizza that the military gets. And here he comes.
Here he comes. Here it is, barefoot and all.
I'm always barefoot on the podcast. I love MREs, and we should do an MRE taste test.
I was just jokingly saying that Matt should make an MRE.
I did one on stream before already.
Did you? Yeah. I used to eat.
We have a bunch of accessible to us.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay. They're Olga's parents.
Oh yeah. You have to get the chili mac because that's the number one rated.
We don't know which ones they have, but he also has really old ones.
That's fine.
Yeah,
they're all good. I used to be on this diet, and mostly it was because of price, not because of caloric content. Obviously, I've never been one for a diet. But we used to buy a case of MREs for like $110, and it came with 12 MREs, and you would just eat one MRE a day.
And that's it.
And that's all you would eat. And it was all the calories you needed for a full day in one package, but you could divvy it up. And I fell in love with them. They're so good.
Did you try one with the jalapeno cheese? And it's actually not bad.
When you get the jalapeno cheese, you get excited. Yeah. It was crazy to me because you know why they give you the cheese.
Plug you up.
To plug you up. And then they give you the milkshakes to drain you out.
Also the cinnamon gum.
Oh, the cinnamon gum is supposed to be a laxative as well, and the cigarettes were also supposed to be a diuretic back in the day.
Oh, okay.
That's what they would give you as the diuretics. But the milkshakes are specifically meant to make you blow it out. So we would never eat the milkshakes.
Oh, there was a raspberry. I think it was a raspberry cobbler.
Yeah, the raspberry cobbler's really good.
Yeah,
literally every type of MRE. They are some of my favorite foods.
See, that's what you need to be doing. MRE TikTok.
I guess there's a guy, Steve 1989, who does it on YouTube. That's really cool. And he'll eat decades and decades old ones.
Oh my goodness.
And his like catchphrase is, "Ooh, nice hiss." Because he'll open them and the cans will hiss at him. Mm-hmm. And that's how you know how old they are, because they come in cans.
So is that like the equivalent of sorry, Chris, is that like the equivalent of like opening a bottle of whiskey and you get a nice cork?
Yeah. He goes, "Ooh, nice hiss." And then he'll smoke the cigarettes from them.
There's cigarettes?
Yeah. Back in, I think they stopped in Nam. My dad would always trade his ham slices for more cigarettes. Because he didn't like the ham slice, so he would go without food and get an extra pack of cigarettes.
So my father-in-law had told me stories of the chocolate that comes in those MREs. And like it's gotten better over the years supposedly, but back then they had to have chocolate that's able to withstand desert heat.
Yeah.
And so you get this hard ass chocolate that won't melt.
It was basically baking chocolate.
Yeah, and
okay, yeah.
All right. And so then he told me that with that is that it was something like you basically have it over fire, and you're dipping the chocolate as only the top layer melts a little bit at a time in like a biscuit. Like he did a biscuit bread thing with the chocolate. Okay, and otherwise it was not edible.
Yeah. So throw into your phone right now, Joseph, so you could watch it later while you're pooping. Steve 1989. He does MRE reviews, and he's been doing it for like 10 years, and he's very knowledgeable about everything, and he does all the countries and all the years.
That'd be interesting. It's like trying ones from different countries. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll just DM you the thing. There you go.
Oh, have you seen him?
No.
Oh,
I'll have to look it up too.
All right,
okay, what are we trying?
We have Club Tails, and we'll let Joseph pick which one we're gonna drink.
I'm actually just gonna have water in this round, so you guys can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Brandon?
I don't know, just grab one. I brought 5, but we don't necessarily have to drink 5. I'm cool without drinking all 5. Again, I thought we were going to have Matt and that we were going to have very little amount of these.
Yeah.
It's the one that got me to believe in them.
Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
They're only 10% though.
Only. Do you know how hard it is to find a canned cocktail that has above 5 or 6%?
But a Long Island should never be below 20%.
I get that, but like when you just want something easy, thank you, Balsonic. When you just want something easy and you go to the store and you look at the canned cocktails, it's disappointing. Like everything's 4%, 5%.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I want a Long Island and I don't want to really worry about it. And then everything that's similar to it that's in a can is weak. So
yeah, the Long Islands we had last week were 15%.
Man, that's like a strong wine.
Yeah.
What was the club one?
Yeah, the club brand.
Okay, now we can, if you remember.
But if this was 15% and it's this big, I can imagine it would be a problem. That's probably why they made it.
So we discovered these with Louis. Like we were sitting there drinking.
I love Louis.
A handful of different beers and stuff like that. And then we weren't really feeling anything. And then we busted these ones out and then it started hitting us. So I was like, okay.
Oh, you mind grabbing me a water, Chris?
Nope. Sir. You don't get to drink anything but booze. You want to try this, Olga? It is the Long Island one. Why are they called Long Island iced teas, Chris?
Let's hear the history on it.
Somebody in Long Island made one and named it that.
Olga, fact check.
Fact check. Why is it called the Long Island?
I have no
idea. We need to get Olga a mic over there.
Yes, yeah. I have no idea why it's called Long Island.
It could be the Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
Steve 1989 MRE info.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Oh, it's Steve 1984. Oh.
No, he said you're 80. Oh, no, it's Steve 84. Okay, whatever.
But then he says Steve 1989.
MRE info correction. Oh, he's correcting himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So dink it. And then ooh.
Tasty. It's good.
It needs more lime.
I was right.
Yeah,
more or less. He's from Long Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use one of those. Or I can take the cups, or give me the tall cup, and then we'll put it in here. And put that there. Joseph's gonna have the tower. Joseph's gonna look like the most alcoholic person here.
Yeah.
You got these in front of you, that in front of you. You can see the can.
Yeah.
But
he's the least alcoholic here.
He's the most responsible.
Yeah. People think I'm an alcoholic because, like, literally every time we do the show, I get drunk. This is literally the only time I drink.
It's pretty much the same with me.
I don't drink unless I'm doing this. Like when we were at the casino the other night, we went and we found a bubble craps machine. I played for a whole 5 minutes, and then lost a bunch of money. That part is neither here nor there. But I had 2 drinks and felt okay, and then just stopped for the rest of the night. Like I don't drink in excess, but for some reason on GTE, I'm like, let's be excessive.
Great technical excess.
Yeah.
Are you much for gambling, Joseph?
No.
I can't imagine who Joseph is.
I've hardly gambled, at all.
So he's probably in the same boat as my wife. I work too hard for my money to throw it down the drain.
I mean, I have on cruises and going to Vegas, I'll play a game or two, but once I lose 20,
that's it.
$40, I'm like, well, that was fun. Let's move on.
Well, okay. So then, what's your game then when you do gamble?
Something easy like 21. Or craps.
Oh, what?
Like that.
He just called craps easy. Everybody's afraid of it.
But okay, you're afraid of it until you understand the rules.
Yeah.
And then it's super easy.
And it's just fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I like bubble craps. Okay, at least up here, but we found a bubble craps machine. Are you familiar with those machines? So it's a machine that has giant dice in the center. So it's not digital craps. Okay. It's real craps because of the dice in the center, but you're just not throwing.
The dice in the center are in a giant bubble.
Yeah. Huh. So it's like you know those like from our younger days, the commercials with the kids pushing the little thing and it made all the stuff pop up in
the vacuum bubble. Cleaner.
Yeah.
Think of that, but with dice inside.
Okay.
That's what we call bubble craps. And you just make your bets on the machine. A majority of what I learned to play craps was me sitting down in front of one of those and just hitting info and reading everything. Mm-hmm. And then that helped me out. And obviously in California, you can't play craps where you throw dice. No dice games allowed.
No game shall be decided by dice or balls in California.
Except the lottery.
Yeah.
The Powerball.
Or bingo.
Yeah. Or bingo, yeah.
Whatever the case. So the bubble craps machine apparently skirts the rules. And so we found one in Pachanga, and we went the other night, and we were playing it, and he left pretty quickly. I kept going, and I turned what did I put into $100 into like 190, but whatever. At one point, I was down to like $36 on it though. And then
that's craps,
and it's fun, but that's in Vegas the machines are cheaper. Here it was $5 craps. Down there I can find them for $1.
Sometimes, not lately.
No, in the Cosmopolitan it was $1.
Oh,
I of all places I never would have expected to find a $1 gambling at the
Cosmo. Yeah,
like that to me was insane. And then I did great on that one, and so I was pretty happy with it.
I'm telling you, most of the time that I sit down on the craps table, if I'm doing good, I'll stay there for 2 or 3 hours. If I'm not doing good, I'm not going to stay there. And I sat down at that bubble craps machine, and in 5 minutes I lost $50. And I said, "All right," and I cashed out and I left. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lose another $50 in 5 minutes. Like,
so then, what are your plays on craps? How do you play it?
It's been so long, I don't remember. Yeah,
I just remember guaranteed pass line, maybe field, and probably 6 and 8.
I actually started playing big 6 and 8 on the machine, but only because I can put $1 on them. Whereas if I wanted to play 6 and 8 individually, I had to do the 5. And I was just like, just hedge my bet a little bit.
And sometimes I play big red just to.
What's big red?
7.
Oh.
Sometimes, dude, when the shooter's hot and they've rolled 10 to 15 times in a row, sometimes you throw $30 on big red and you make all the money that's on the field. So you've already been paid out for all your bets, basically. And then when they hit 7, then you get all the money back on the field, and you're really not down money.
I guess if you're thinking about it, the way that you play, you're like, I've already made back what I have out. Now let's play to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you get out.
You
That's
just-
the way you get
You go
out.
all off, play to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
It's
But
funny. We were just talking about Vegas last time I was here.
yeah.
Remember, like after the show.
Oh well, then I have to send you a text.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could just tell them in real life.
Or after this.
Yeah. We have mouths that we can be used away from the camera.
Listen, if there's anything I've come to expect from GTE is that when it's over, everybody goes very quick.
Yeah. I'm not saying that
Philinix.
I have a reason that I leave very quickly after GTE, but there's a reason that I leave very quickly after GTE.
Combat rations were the name before that and had mostly canned. If you heard people say,
Oh yeah, C rations or K rations.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah.
if you can
I
find
call
canned
all
ones,
of them.
We're gonna sit here like,
No, never can rations.
You know, speaking of like beers and MREs, stuff like that, I just came across a movie that I heard about and I watched a preview on. It's based on a true story. Apparently, it's called The Greatest Beer Run Ever. You guys heard?
okay. I've seen that, but I haven't actually watched it.
Okay.
I've seen the thing on Hulu.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, apparently it's based on a true story. It stars Zac Efron in it, and it's about he's this guy that delivers. He does basically a beer run all the way to Vietnam during the Vietnam War.
Okay.
Yeah, that's based on a true story.
Is it an A24 movie? That sounds like an A24 movie.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Okay, A24 is a studio that if I see that it's an A24 movie, I almost want to watch it.
Oh, every time.
Yeah.
They made The Whale. They're
starting to get out of horror.
Yeah.
They started in horror, kind of.
Kind of.
Like the indie creative horror. Like
I always just think of it as like the indie film company.
Yeah, yeah. Like if there's the biggest indie film company that you want your movie to get picked up by, it's A24.
Mm.
And their recent pickup was actually made by YouTubers. Their channel is Raka Raka, however you want to put it. And these guys are crazy. They're Australian. They made a horror movie. They were like comedy, fake action, like Ronald McDonald beating up Wendy from Wendy's action, just joke YouTube videos, but that they're very like special effects heavy or practical effects heavy for the action that they like to do. And then they go and make a horror movie. And then they find out after Sundance Film Festival, it got picked up by A24. And they're just blowing their minds like
What's that movie called?
Talk to Me.
Okay.
And it's about the like a hand thing where you hold the hand, you say talk to me, and a spirit on the other side will inhabit you for a few moments. And everybody like you're on TikTok, you've heard the song. Like it's I don't even know how to put it. It's like the French sounding song. I'll play it and you'll immediately know what it is.
Because the new A24 movie coming out is about the brothers of wrestling in the 80s.
Yes, I like that one. But
that's the one I thought you were going to talk about because we both really like pro wrestling.
This one. This is from a scene in that movie. And it's like a gigantic trending song on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
You're not on Wi-Fi?
Not right now, at least. Yeah. Wow. I forget to turn it on sometimes.
And, what up, Soviet? How you doing, buddy? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
What up, dude? Happy Thanksgiving. So, yes, I actually do recommend that movie. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. And the cool thing with those YouTubers is after A24 picked it up, they said, don't change anything.
Oh.
Like, that's the coolest thing. Is like...
They'll let their visions be visions.
Yep.
That's awesome.
As creatives, that studio won't get in your way.
That's awesome.
A lot of other studios. Man, when it comes to like movies and lore and all that stuff, that's something I do like to talk about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, movies are great.
Especially Marvel lore.
I mean, have you had the Marvel fatigue though?
Nope.
No. Oh, I have.
Like Marvel was a big part of like my childhood.
Oh, mine too. So, all the cards and the games.
I still have all my cards.
Well, you're a weirdo.
I lost all my Pokemon cards. I can't find them though.
Yeah. You had a Machamp that was foil.
I have a foil, more than likely first edition Alakazam, which is probably worth a few $1,000s.
Wow.
Maybe. If it's good rated.
Okay, so
Okay, sorry. It quoted to be.
It quoted to be when?
I don't
3 or
know.
4 years ago?
Maybe.
Because there was a giant bubble of
Yeah.
Pokemon where
Yeah.
everything was
That's
so
when I was looking
expensive.
for it. I would have sold
Yeah.
all of it back
Yeah.
then. I don't care.
Well, for sure.
Whatever.
But now there's been such a resurgence of it that those cards, you'd probably, I mean, you'd still get $300 or $400 for it.
They crash like crypto.
Not as bad. Not as bad. But a lot of my first edition stuff, like I have first edition Shadowless packs. I have 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were somewhere in the realm of like $2,500 a piece. And now they're $600 or $700.
Joseph, how do you feel about crypto? Let's get into that topic for a second. We're gonna be crypto bros for a second. The original envisioning of this podcast set had to do with crypto.
Can I have water, Chris?
What's up?
Can I have a water, Chris?
I got you.
I still have crypto, and I'm every day it's just minus
still have it
5%,
too.
minus 5%, minus 5%.
The news that when the Binance CEO said, "Yep, well, you stole a bunch of money from you guys. I'm resigning."
Yeah,
But it's definitely not good for the market.
yeah. Do you own crypto, Joe?
I do. I don't own any
Oh, okay.
crypto. I'm just something about it not being a tangible thing like currency just makes me worried about it.
That's how I felt as well.
You know, it's just-
Same with NFTs.
Yeah, like
If I can't hold it in my hand, I don't want to own it.
yeah. So,
All right.
what about you?
I mean, I think about it that it can have certain functions, but I don't see it replacing anything significant.
Not in the next
Not
20
necessarily.
No,
30
it's
years.
that it'll definitely always be a thing now for a very long time,
Sure.
for probably the rest of our lives.
Mhm.
But how it will be used is that's the question to me.
Yeah.
And can it be used well? It can. Will it be used well? A lot of the time, absolutely not.
No. It's used to buy some sketchy bullshit.
But I mean, like at one point there was one that was called Deep Brain Coin, and I saw that one, and I liked what it was representing in the sense that the processing of it would go to power sort of. Have you heard of folding at home? It had to do with medical research and processes that have to be.
Yes, folding. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
That does ring a bell.
imagine if all the processing that it does for that NFT, because people are trading it and buying it and using it and whatever, all that powered medical research
So,
that needed calculations done.
dude, so to bring it back to the title of the show, which is Great Technical Evening,
Okay.
and gaming. I don't know if anyone remembers, but I believe the PlayStation 3 actually had an optional folding program that contributed to medical research. I believe it might have been for cancer research.
Folding at home. Had to have been folding at home.
Yeah, you can I don't know, I can't recall the exact details, but I remember vaguely when I had a PlayStation 3, there was a certain program you could run on it where, if you're at home and you're not gaming, you could basically volunteer your PS3 to do folding of whatever that was.
Folding of proteins.
Yeah,
for cancer
folding of
research.
proteins for
Yeah.
like cancer research. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I remember that.
So to me, if crypto was tied to a sort of real world process like that could help people, could be good. But obviously, people don't seem to care. Well, at least currently, don't seem to care about using crypto in that manner because that one immediately went. I got into it and went like it was maybe a couple cents a coin, and when I got into it, and then it went to like 0.00002 cents.
Like basically worthless.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not that people don't care about it. I feel like it wasn't, for lack of a better term, advertised.
Then
Because this is literally the first time I've heard about this, and I've been into crypto for the past 4 or 5 years. So if this is the first time I'm hearing about it, and Joseph knows about it on PS3, and that was 2 generations of PlayStations 10 years ago at least, like I feel like the normal person that would be dipping their toes into the crypto scene, wouldn't have known about folding proteins or cancer research in any aspect.
So that's obviously the issue when you get people who are more than likely just scientifically backed, getting into a field of, as what people call them, crypto bros, right? They're not going to get seen. Yeah, that's with any technology, right? It comes down to, that's why some companies have so much, not even so much, half, like Samsung, for example, half of the money they spend every year is on advertising. Like it's such a huge thing. And
I don't think I've ever seen. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever seen or remember a Samsung ad. So if they're spending half of it on advertising and none of
it's not reaching you,
it's not reaching me at least.
Fine. That's fine. It just means like Google or whoever has decided you're not their target audience.
I'm not at all. But like you would still think I'd see some of it.
It's probably on TV if you'd see it.
I don't watch TV.
That's
but
the thing. Yeah. So it's still being ran.
Could be like product placement too, because remember Samsung makes like everything.
Everything you see in movies, somebody paid for that to be in that. Right. So like if you watch a movie and you'll notice quickly all GM vehicles.
Yeah.
Or any
Heroes was big about that. They had the Nissan Rogue that the cheerleader drove in the last season, and everybody was pissed.
And this to me the most I guess obvious reference was the Hotel Transylvania movies, right? Anybody can in an animated movie can make a phone look like anything. It doesn't matter. But theirs are obviously Sony Xperia phones.
That's funny.
I owned one, so it like stands out to me. Like that's the shape, very specific of a Sony Xperia phone. I know it,
dude. So did you guys watch Parks and Rec?
Oh yeah,
you did. I didn't watch too much of it.
I love that show.
It was a great show. I've seen it probably 10 times.
Nice. Yeah, my wife and I have easily watched it probably 3 times all the seasons. But anyway, I think there's a couple seasons or maybe even more where they had a lot of Windows phones. I don't know if you caught that. You didn't?
No,
I didn't really watch
I never caught it.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of Windows phones, but they also did. They had a lot of laptops with the Windows logo on the back.
I do remember that, and I remember Donna using like a Windows tablet.
I see on the news all the time a Surface tablet right there.
Yeah,
every freaking news anchor has a Surface on right there.
So speaking of Parks and Rec, and not the technology in it, but does Parks and Rec end for you at the charity concert at the end? Or does it end for you the last season where they go and do the whole Grizzle merger with the really good company with Ron and that
the very good construction or whatever it's called. I forget.
So to me, at the tribute concert, it's not called the tribute concert because they had that for Little Sebastian, and then they had a unison concert, but it had all the bands, and then Mouse Rat played 10,000 Candles in the Wind, and that was the last scene of the show, and that was supposed to be the very end of the show, and then they decided we're going to add more seasons, and then they had like where Leslie became president.
What?
Like, yeah, so maybe
I didn't get that far.
Yeah. And
I remember watching like the first few episodes and going, I don't really like the show and I don't see it really going anywhere. And then it's like I read afterwards, the sentiment at the beginning was kind of not great, but supposedly the studio really wanted to give it a chance and they gave it like a 1 or 2 season order and it took off.
The first 10 episodes were supposed to be an Office spinoff.
Right.
And that's why Rashida Jones was in it to begin with. She was supposed to be Karen moving to Pawnee and becoming
like legitimately
so she
connected.
wasn't Ann Perkins.
Okay.
Like there was supposed to be like this is a sequel of sorts or a what's that called when they're the same universe?
In that case that's the spinoff.
It's a spinoff basically. And then they decided it doesn't work as well, so they made Ann Perkins instead of Karen Filippelli.
Yeah.
And the whole first season, everybody's like a direct opposite of what their actual character is. And then you watch seasons 2 through 8, and the characters really come out.
It finds its feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the characters were not what. If you watch the first like 6 or 7 episodes of Park and Rec, you're like,
what is it? You're like, what is it?
The thing is, I wasn't a huge Office fan either.
Oh, I've always
serious.
Yeah. Again, I've watched The Office.
So we just. My wife and I, we just watch it, like, especially when there's nothing to watch.
It's a background show.
We're like, let's just watch The Office.
Yeah. Do you watch the Superfans?
We watched a little bit of them, and then we're like, we just went back to them.
I watch all of it.
I
think
this is funny. Philinx is all like, hey, come here quick. I found the guy who actually used a Sony phone.
Yeah.
I loved my Sony phone. I took it underwater, and I could take photos with it. That was like the first phone that I'd ever owned that was waterproof, and it had a headphone jack. So whatever Apple says about like, hey, we don't have a headphone jack because waterproof and a bigger battery, blah, blah, blah. Lies. Sony did it. Sony did it.
No, Apple got rid of the headphone jack to get more space for the battery.
Right, but I mean, like, then
as an Apple fanboy, I know that everything Apple has done has been in direct response
to Chris.
To Chris, to Samsung, to Sony, to Android.
Okay, this phone,
they've all done it first. Apple just does it louder and better.
This phone supposedly is like a 5.9 inch. It's not. It's like 4.8. Has a headphone jack and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. This is like almost as big as their normal size phones right now.
My phone.
So that excuse
doesn't have a headphone jack, a bigger battery, and a better camera.
No, pretty good camera.
No, mine has better, guaranteed. Mine has 3 cameras. How many cameras does yours have?
I have 2.
I have 3.
But I have
3. They're better.
Optical stabilization.
I have optical ist type stabilization. It's better. And I don't need a headphone jack because guess what? I have AirPods. I don't need a jack. Idiot. No, I'm just kidding. I could give a fuck about headphones or AirPods.
What about you? Where are you?
I just wanted to scream at you.
I just want everyone to get along.
I agree. I'm huge on that. And everybody, all the articles that I see popping up about the green bubble thing is over because Apple is going to go RCS. There is completely wrong. Yes, they're going to support RCS. They're going to keep Android green bubbles.
So here's my guess on that. My guess is that it might not be. It's definitely not going to be blue. That's reserved for iMessage because that's a brand thing. Yes. My guess is it'll be a different color.
Different color. I don't care.
I think it'll still stay green
because here's the thing. Like with the newer iPhone 14 and 15, they now have satellite, radios, and I believe when you use those for messaging, you get gray bubbles.
Oh, I've never had a gray bubble.
That's only when you're off grid and you're using the satellite communication on it. So my guess is that with RCS, it could be a different color.
Yeah, it could be a different color. Sure, just to signify it, because even Google here. Let me show you, because I do have RCS. Even Google. Let me go to my mom's texts. There it is. Okay, so even Google, like blue, and then if it switches to texts, they're just that color. They're gray.
Okay,
but if it switches back to RCS, it goes back to blue. And then back to gray if it's SMS. So something like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, like now I just won't get yelled at by all my friends, literally all of them, for degrading the quality of their videos.
Oh my god, it's such a pain in the dick.
The MMS quality on videos in a group chat with MMS and SMS is just pure garbage.
Yeah,
it's pure garbage.
And I feel like it's a brand thing. I think it's Apple going, well, just talk your friends into getting a fucking iPhone, idiot.
That's what it is, and I'm glad you recognize that, but the majority of people out there don't.
Because I'm mad that my friend doesn't have the fucking blue bubble, and I'm mad that every time I send a video in a group chat with Helg,
it's garbage.
It's garbage. It turns garbage, or it just doesn't send and says, "Sorry, can't do that."
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do that.
That's Apple's fault. That's not my fault.
No, it's your fault because I send it to my friends and it works perfectly.
SMS
I send it to you.
Old technology.
Look, I'm telling you what I'm feeling as a consumer. I send it to all my Apple friends. It works just fine every time. I send it to Helg, who's not fucking Apple, and it doesn't work. Therefore, it's Helg's fault.
If you're yelling at me, that's Apple manipulated into it.
Okay, but that's why there's Google Chat. That's why there's Signal. That's why there's WhatsApp. You can use those other...
Everybody can use those.
Everybody can use those. They're platform agnostic. You can use those solutions to get that high-quality video.
But the iPhone users don't give a shit.
Yeah. I just know it's
maybe you do. Maybe you do, but...
I understand why Apple's doing it, and I understand it's to try to guilt you into buying those phones.
Trying to shame people into it. I'm not a sheep.
Yeah, shaming.
Going back to Parks and Rec with seeing those Windows phones. I don't know about you guys, but I was bummed that Windows got rid of their phone.
Oh yeah, those are my Zune years, so I definitely want.
Oh my god, I don't want to hear about the fucking Zune. iPods were far superior in every way.
No, Zune was great.
But here's the thing: like, I love the fact that there was 3 major players competing for everyone's money and everyone's.
Yeah, this whole idea that there's 2, is really fucking the system.
Yeah, to me 2 is too little. I think I
agree.
No, and here's the thing:
there needs to be like 10.
Even right now, there still isn't 2. It's just that the society at large. Which, like, Men in Black painted the picture really well here. When they made the statement, like when Kay was talking to Jay, and he was just like, a person, smart. People, dumb. Correct. That's from the movie, right? There are so many different experiences and makers of Android phones. I have an Asus.
Right.
I do not like Samsung. I don't even know how Samsung made it to be the de facto standard versus Apple. People boiled that down to Apple versus Samsung, and that's all that exists. They say Android is Samsung, and that's not the case.
Yeah, like didn't HTC stop?
He was huge.
They were great. Yep. They made some awesome phones.
So was LG had to exit the market. They don't even make phones anymore.
LG doesn't make phones anymore. I used to love LG
2021,
phones.
they exited the market.
Oh.
Sony might as well have exited the market. Their last phone that was awesome was in like 2014.
Didn't their phone blow up though?
Not Sony's.
No. You know what brand phone I always wanted to get as a smartphone? Like
Sidekick.
Always wanted it, and just never had the money for it, or never had, it just wasn't the right time to switch, because back in the day we were locked to our carriers, I guess that still happens now, but
Felix is guessing BlackBerry?
No, Nokia. Always wanted a Nokia phone with their custom. I forget what OS they ran.
Oh yeah, they damn it, I used to know it too. They actually had the biggest market share out of Android and iPhone for a large amount of time.
Right.
I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah, but to me, Nokia was like the golden, like platform golden type of phone that I always wanted.
Dope.
Dude, they were awesome back in the day.
I agree.
The quality of them. That's why Microsoft bought them out.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to use their manufacturing and their quality spec to come out with the phones.
Dude, Nokia is notoriously known for the strongest phone on the market.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a meme at this point, but like they were really indestructible at a point.
And you know what? You could still buy you can still buy Nokia phones.
Yeah.
They're like almost like burner phones. I think they still make them.
Yeah. They're by the minute.
They found their market.
Yeah.
In the current generation.
I wonder if they still have Snake.
I believe it does.
Yeah.
I think so. That's still a thing.
Something about those buttons and playing Snake on the tactile buttons will never exit my brain.
Okay, we had this conversation on the way to go play Bubble Craps the other night. That the tactility of
phones,
real keyboards.
Yes.
Is just
haptics
gone.
will never be a thing.
Okay, great. My
haptics
favorite
will
phone,
never be a thing anymore.
Right. Even Apple abandoned it. 3D Touch is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you mean?
3D Touch.
Yes, they got rid of that. Yeah.
So
it's long press or whatever.
So I used to be able to drive, and with one hand on the wheel, I wouldn't even have to look at my phone, and I can send. Yeah.
Me too.
And I could send text without even.
Yeah, I do
looking.
That, I do that. I with
remember. Go ahead.
I do that with swiping.
Okay,
I can because I know where the keys are at, so I can just swipe. And most of the time, it's
the tactileness of the 9 buttons, I knew exactly where I was going, and I could manipulate it, and I would never have to look at it. And as soon as I got a real phone, like a smartphone, and now I'm like constantly taking my eyes off the road. I don't do it.
But now you just use dictation, voice text.
Yeah, now just voice to text. Yeah,
you just ask.
And then they get, oh fuck, stupid asshole. It's part of my text because I'm driving and then I'm yelling at people. That's happened before.
The T9 thing, I was the same as you. I would be able to have it in one hand, and I would be able to type a full message.
Yeah, a full message
without looking. That's how accustomed I got.
And I loved it. Yeah. And then as soon as I got a smartphone, I was like, well, this is great. I love the smartphone, but something about that T9 text and that tactile ability. Mm-hmm. You can't beat it.
People used to complain about T9, and I never.
It's because
I never understood why it was so bad.
Why do people complain about everything, Chris?
You can't please everyone.
You can't.
I guess.
Yeah. You everybody's gonna bitch about every good thing, and we could love it to the high heavens, and somebody's gonna shit on us for it. And there's some things that other people like that we're gonna shit on. It's just human nature. Not everybody's gonna like it.
So Samsung made a phone back in the day. Eventually got named the Alias. I got it before that, but it was.
Oh, I got it before.
No, because they had Samsung US 740 or something. They had to give it a name to be attractive, but it was the same phone, and it closed like a clamshell. It was a dumb phone.
Dude, when phones,
right?
The Motorola Razrs, dude. Motorola Razr was the phone.
You could close it and then open it like this, sideways.
Okay.
And then you have the whole keyboard, like a traditional keyboard.
Yeah.
Or pop it open straight and you have the T9 keyboard. Mm-hmm. So you can switch between how you wanted to type.
Okay.
And the keyboard felt great. And it was awesome. And then I got an LG Envy Touch after that. And Verizon had very misleading marketing because that came out after the iPhone. And they said, apps. lots of apps available for this phone. Lots of apps. Turns out that was a brew phone. It wasn't a smartphone. It was a fake smartphone, and they tricked you by saying all these apps are available in Verizon's own store for that, and all of them cost money. And I'm like, I don't want any of that.
Do you remember the simplicity of apps when they first came out? Like, here's the drinking app, and you could tap the phone, and a beer would fill up, and then you could drink it.
Oh, like talking.
And they had
and
like a lighter that you could flick, and it would.
So
what happened to all those free shitty stupid?
Those apps were more of like proof of concept.
Is that what it was?
I think it was just like, look what we can make your phone do. Like, isn't that great? You know, I think it was more of just.
Well, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. It was simply just for fun, and it got out of.
But Dude, I just look back on that fondly, and like having the gun app and the lightsaber app and the like all that other cool stuff. Like, it was just so fun for the 6 months that it happened.
In the gun app that we made the video with.
Oh, the gun.
Yeah, we actually made a Russian roulette video with that gun app.
Yeah, because it was an app that looked like you load it and it was a pistol, and then you can click it.
Yeah,
and it would click. Eventually, it would actually fire and just be like. Pow!
Gotcha. One more thing about the phones and Samsung. I had a Samsung flip phone back in the day, and it was a, foldable phone that you would flip open and then close it. And it had the most satisfying click, snap, like when you would close it and you would hang up. Like when you were done with the conversation and you just closed it with one hand and it made that satisfying. It was like it reminded me of like a Zippo. Yeah. Like, like the way a Zippo feels and sounds, that kinetic feeling when you close it, it's just satisfying.
Yeah.
I remember phones had that back in the day.
I had the LG chocolate, and I feel like it was just a slide up and down, but the down.
The locking click.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I loved it.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So the creativity in phones like that is just gone.
It is.
It's forever gone. And that's because brands like Apple forced brands like Samsung to be essentially their parody on the other side. And all the companies that did get creative all fell away. LG had modular phones. Like, you can have all sorts of accessories using their pogo pins. Unplug, add this. Unplug, add this. Yeah. LG, where are they now? Gone. They're not even in the market.
So considering the modularity, you can argue, or not argue, but you can say that the iPhones have some form of modularity with the MagSafe. So they have the cases with MagSafe where you can attach a battery, a wallet, a stand, stuff like that. So
I mean, but it's not as modular as like when LG first announced it. Like, you could take the camera out and put a better camera in.
Right. I'm saying it's a form of modularity.
It is.
So
it's a simpler version. And that's why Apple does good the way they do it. It's because it becomes a simpler form to accomplish a task. And that's very attractive to a lot of people.
My problem with Apple over the last years is I've had the iPhone since iPhone
loves MagSafe.
Yeah, MagSafe is fine. Yeah, I like it. But I have a pop socket, so it's kind of hard to use. But they're making it to where the MagSafe has a circle that goes around the pop socket. They understand their market now, and they're like, I can do the MagSafe around my pop socket or whatever. But I've had the Apple since the first phone.
You had the first one?
Yeah. Oh, we've had we had 1, 3.
That explains the toaster strudel.
I saved a lot to get that iPhone.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah. But they used to have such cool, like, user interface. Like, with the music, you would turn it sideways and be able to, like, flip through vinyl records.
Oh, that was called cover flow.
Yeah.
When it would show the album artwork.
But you would be able to flip it, and it was like you're flipping through a CD book or album artwork where, like, your contacts were all cool and...
Like a Rolodex. Huh?
Yeah. And they've just, like, gone so simple over the last, like, 5 or 6 years that everything is so boring.
Okay.
So like, when I first got the phone, I was like, oh, I wonder which one of my 30 CDs I'm going to listen to. Like, you can flip through them, and then you would flip through your Rolodex of people on your phone. Like, it felt cool and, like, innovative. And then they were like, guess what? Fuck you, we're not doing that anymore.
When you set, like, an alarm, like, it actually had, like, these old school, like, dial. Yeah.
See, to me, I have to say, Apple isn't even the blame here. It's people. They had to have had focus groups that said, flipping through the album is cool, but sometimes it's just faster for me to be able to find and click.
But why can't they just have a search bar?
Hold on. No. Steve Jobs actually in an interview stated that they intentionally don't have focus groups.
Really?
Yeah, they do not.
Well, I bet you they do. Steve Jobs
after Steve Jobs, I'm sure they do. Yes, but
I don't know because I pay close attention to them. I listen to podcasts, for Apple-based podcasts for years, and from what I've learned is that Tim Cook, that's running Apple now, they essentially internally at Apple, made basically like almost like a Steve Jobs university where they attempted to, it's almost like they attempted to capture lightning in a bottle to try to like maintain that the way that they operate and the way that they innovate and develop products. They're trying to hold on to that spirit that Steve Jobs instilled in Apple when he first founded it.
You're saying Apple's trying to create jobs.
Oh, I hate you. You're saying the hard-headedness of Steve Jobs and what he says goes, and he had the best ideas, so we have to do it just like this. They actually have classes on that.
Like from what I've learned and from what I understand from like podcasts that it could have been from like maybe one of the Steve Jobs books that I read a long time ago, the novels, that they basically have classes at their headquarters to basically teach you how to operate like Steve Jobs is still there, as far as like the mindset with developing their products.
That's kind of rad.
Yeah, because one of the things that I know Apple does a lot is they always say no more than they say yes.
Yeah,
for a lot, and that basically translates in their products. Like the fact that there's no headphone jack anymore. That's like one of those no things.
Well, they got rid of the headphone jack so they could sell more AirPods. Like,
they put it this way: Apple doesn't. They don't care about you as an individual. They're still a company. They're still out there to make money.
Yeah.
So you can say that they did things like take away the headphone jack to, increase sales with things like AirPods and stuff like that. But they also advertise the fact that they did it to innovate, make more room for battery life, things like that. Because when you're talking about a phone that's as small as it is, every millimeter comes at a premium in terms of space.
But what's crazy is we've had the phones, and then so when we started out with phones, I remember the bricks, the car phones that were bricks, and then they got smaller, but the line of text, we had one line of text, and then they got to where they were literally as small as they could get.
Mm-hmm.
And then the iPhone came out, and the Samsung Galaxies and the LG phones.
Notably, back in the day, the Dell. Was it Adam? No. Dell had a phone that started with an A that was a 5 or 5.2 inch phone.
And everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
The most gigantic phone ever back then. During the days of the 3.8 inch iPhone or whatever was that the first one.
But like we went to so small. And now we're going, and I have the Pro Max, and like I can barely get to the side. And I have fucking gorilla hands. Like I can barely close the Pornhub browser.
Dell Streak.
The Dell Streak. Okay.
Yeah.
So like it's just crazy to me that we went as small as we did just to blow right back up.
5-inch phone was considered gigantic back in the day.
How big is mine?
6.8.
Are you sure?
Is it a Max?
Max. It's a Pro Max.
Pro Max? Yeah, 6.8.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
6.8.
My wife says 7.
It's 6. It's 7 if you measure from the back.
6.8.
Yeah.
With 6.8.
Do you measure from the bottom or the top?
Can somebody clip that, please? Somebody clip.
I love that we can make sexually innuendo jokes and they're literally going over Joseph's head. I know he gets them, but he just doesn't respond to them like I think he will, and it's fucking hilarious to me.
I actually wanted to make that joke the other day. We were in the car driving, and I'm like, I want to make that. I thought about it, and that's been in my in the chamber for a few days now. And I forget. Yeah, we were on the topic of phones, but yes, it's 6.8, and I don't know why they called this 5.9. My other phone is 5.9, and it's bigger, so I don't get it. Yeah. A lot of people that have held my phone had said, "This feels great. I wish I could get an iPhone that was this size, because even the smaller one isn't this small, right? Like, do you have a non-Max? Oh,
he has the 11,
14 mini.
Is that the 14 mini?
Or is it 13?
No, 14.
13 mini?
It's the 13 mini.
13 mini. Yeah. That's what I meant.
It's not even the mini.
Right?
It's just the 13.
But they don't even make...
No, it's the mini. This is called the 13 mini.
They had a mini?
Yes.
Yeah. I missed it.
So they don't make the mini anymore.
They don't make it.
Yeah.
Is that the same as the CE?
No.
SE.
No.
SE.
This is in every way an iPhone 13, just smaller.
Oh,
That's it.
but you wanted the smaller?
Yes.
But then your porn's not as big.
Or
that's
YouTube
easy
videos.
because I don't look at porn, so it's not a problem.
Or YouTube videos.
Okay.
Coalition Gaming YouTube videos.
No. For me, my phone. My relationship with my phone is very utilitarian.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
is-
so we'll have you know, Joseph comes in and I can't stop scrolling on my phone. I'm looking at him, but I'm still scrolling on my phone, and we're talking and I'm still scrolling on my phone. This is literally the first time I've ever seen Joseph's phone, and I've known him for 5 years, 6 years.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the first time I've ever seen his phone.
That should tell you that it's very utilitarian.
Exactly. I'm constantly anxiously scrolling on my phone, and I'm not even looking at it, but I have to have it in my little fucking fat hands, touching it and playing with it.
You know,
Joseph is not.
So
he's a very different breed.
Well, I mean, whenever you're with people, especially like on a platform like this with a podcast, like you want to be as grounded as possible with the people around you. You want to, like, we're here to connect, we're here to socialize, and engage with the community and the people that are watching the live stream. So it's like I even wanted to detach from my phone even more just to be more present with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I have a super addiction to my phone.
I'm a mega power user on these things, and that's part of one of the reasons that I just can't do iPhone. Like I do so much with it, more than just scrolling.
I doom scroll in 5 apps, and that's about all I do.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm all like, okay, here's an interesting situation that I had. I was literally, it was like 4:25 p.m. on a work day, and I had to leave on time. And I'm sitting there getting super angry because I need to hand off an external SSD to our law enforcement officers so that they can get footage of one place that got broken into out to a different agency. And I'm just like, this isn't working. My computer's not recognizing it. And on our own agency computers, I'm not allowed to format drives. I don't have access to it. And what I did was I took that USB-C external, plugged it into my phone. My phone said, not recognize, format to use. Yes. Unplug, plug back in the computer. I could format it and use it now.
Interesting.
That's like not even possible. Like, okay, maybe it is possible with iPhone, but like because it's not USB-C until the current generation.
Yeah.
There's no way I could just be like, format, computer, like,
yeah.
And so like that's like a function to me that is like very power user like.
Yeah.
Because like who's gonna plug an external a flash drive or an SSD into a phone to do things with it that you can move it into a computer and then do things with that.
Yeah, that's definitely a power user move for sure. So yeah, can agree on
that. He's a cop.
That's funny considering it's coming from Dog Horse.
But yeah, that when I did that, I was like, oh man, why did I even have to do that? But like, I think it's funny to me that I'm locked down on my own computer as an IT guy that I can't format drives. Like if I really, really, really wanted to, I could use DiskPart to do it. But man, I hate using DiskPart to
command line, right?
It's basically command line, yes. Yeah. And I hate using it to format. I love using it to clean a drive because it's easy. I'm like, DiskPart, list disk, select disk 2, clean. And then I can just open the Windows format utility and hit, oh, there's the unallocated drive because it's just cleaned it and then destroyed everything that was on it. Format, give letter, can use. Very quick, very quick. But for me to have to also learn the like DiskPart, select disk, format NTFS, wrong syntax. Oh, format NTFS : wrong syntax. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Let's move into storage and managing storage real quick. So have you ever heard of, or do you recall me mentioning a program called SpinRite?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I know SpinRite.
Yeah. Great program, tried and true. It's been around for years. Awesome program for maintaining and recovering faulty drives and things like that.
Hard drives specifically.
Well, no, it does SSDs now.
Yeah,
it does SSDs now, and it is very beneficial for running on SSD, especially if you want to maintain that speed.
But SSDs don't spin.
They don't. They don't spin, and that's why it's still called SpinRite, just to maintain the brand. It's for branding things, but it is considered a mass storage maintenance and recovery utility. But the same guy, Steve Gibson, that developed that software, He also made a free program that you can download from a site. I believe it's called ValiDrive. It's very, very new because and this is something to look out for anyone that's doing some like Black Friday shopping for, thumb drives, SSDs, hard drives, things like that, especially for brands that you're not very familiar with or brands that, aren't like your common Western Digital, SanDisk, Samsung, things like that. Be on the lookout because on Amazon, you can buy a hard drive or a thumb drive that states that it's, X amount of, storage space, like 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, whatever.
I've seen videos on this actually.
Yes. Yeah. And you can plug it in your computer, you can copy data to it, and your OS will say and recognize, yes, we have copied, 2 terabytes of your data onto this thumb drive. It'll recognize that. And then if you take that drive and try to read the data you copied, it won't be there.
Worked.
Yeah, it'll be messed up.
Just because it started rewriting itself. It's just a BIOS thing, right? That says not a BIOS thing, but like a firmware
controller thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that says like, I have 2 terabytes, but it only has 512 megabytes, and it looks like it's still writing because it's just rewriting over itself,
like over and over again. Something. But anyway, that guy Steve Gibson that developed SpinRite, he did come out with a free utility called ValiDrive. It's free. And you can, if you buy, let's say, a large hard drive, SSD, thumb drive, and you just want to, test it to see does it really come with the amount of storage it's advertised, that program that you can download will test that.
So it's like CPU-Z or GPU-Z, where you can use it to validate whether what you have is actual.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's the guy that does is it Security Now podcast?
Yeah, he does.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So Ivan actually told me a lot about SpinRite as well.
Oh yeah, nice.
Like our old conversations that we had, and I told him I was trying to recover a drive, and he goes, "Get SpinRite." I listened to the guy, and yeah, it's a very interesting and old school kind of. Like, yeah.
But anyway, cool. So besides SpinRite, ValiDrive, he is going to be coming out with a piece of software that's going to be free. There's no ETA, there's no estimated time of completion for it, but he is going to develop a program that's specifically designed for just completely obliterating, any drive, like securely,
like D-band.
Yes, exactly, like something like that. But it's supposed to be like in a matter of seconds, and it's supposed to be brand agnostic. Like it doesn't matter what brand it is, it'll be able to do it. So something to look forward to, down the pipeline.
Yeah, I actually had to reset a few of Weasenator's drives. Because he upgraded. So he pulled 2 drives out of a NAS and replaced them. And so he had 2 drives that were previously formatted for use with the Synology. And he plugged them in and goes, nothing happens when I plug it into my computer. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I plug it in and, list disk part, list disk. There it is, clean. And then it pops up on Windows and I can format it and give it a letter. And like, there you go, it's usable again.
What letter did you give it?
Whatever Windows says is the next letter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not specific. If it's a network drive, though, I always give them Z.
Yeah.
So it's a network drive is always a Z drive to me.
I gotta say,
just to give it like that distinct like character, like yes, this is
network drive. Yeah. I gotta say, since we started the show, this has been about drinking and eating and being stupid, but with Joseph here, it's been very technical, and we've been very true to name. And there's such discussions that we've just never had. And I gotta say, it's very nice to have you here. And
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And have the technical conversations that we have. I mean, I know I'm not in them a lot because I just don't give a shit. As long as I push power and it works, I'm stoked.
As long as you can scroll.
Yeah, as long as I can scroll. That's literally how it is. But I know Chris's eyes light up when you're like, fucking, here's some technical heebie-jeebie, yeah. And he's like, oh my God, I can finally talk about this. And it's on a platform and people are watching.
He said CPU.
Yeah. Like, it's just super cool to have you here and have you.
Cool, man.
And to talk about it. And the same with the whiskey show. Like, you're so knowledgeable about the subjects that you're knowledgeable about. Like, the jack of all trades but master of none really doesn't
appeal.
No, not appeal. It's not a fair attribute to give you, because what I've learned about you over these half a decade, this 5 or 6 years that we've known each other. When I first met him, we talked about the Fitbits and the Razor watches, and I've learned that if he likes something or wants to learn about something, it's everything down to the letter. It's fucking, he knows every little detail about it. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, it tracks my steps. Sometimes it turns on. And he's like, no, but this one is better because this and this and this and this and this. It's really cool to have somebody like Chris that's very technologically savvy and know what he's talking about.
Because talented.
Yeah, talented. Yeah, because like Chris will fucking turn to me and say, well, this phone has the CPU 7 and 5.9 inches and 8 gigs of RAM. And I'm like, cool. Does it go on Pornhub? Does it go on Reddit? That's all I care about. Can I play craps once in a while? Because I like.
Can you play Snake?
Yeah, I can. Snake is not. Yeah,
having to overclock my phone to get it to go fast enough for where I want it.
Oh man!
And I don't have to do that anymore with modern phones. Back in the day, I was like, I need to root you and overclock your CPU because right now you're too slow.
Again,
like, I need to own you.
nerdy motherfuckers. But it's cool to see Chris like light up and like be able to have a conversation with you, and it's a nice thing to have a guest that does that. And I just want to say thank you for coming on and putting the fucking technical in the great technical evening. I think it's really cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And you're welcome anytime. Our new producer, Joseph. he says no, but he's come to us with some great ideas that hopefully we'll be rolling out in the near future.
Yeah.
He keeps saying, I have this idea. And we're like, why haven't we thought of that? Oh, because we're idiots. But again, he does the research and he cares enough that he's like, no, this would be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
well, he doesn't say fucking.
Right?
Yeah. I also don't think I've ever heard him actually cuss.
Joseph?
Oh, yeah, it's a rare occasion.
Big battlefield with this guy.
Okay, yeah, that brings out the worst in all of us.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, frustrating is the new Call of. Well, not the new Call of Duty now.
Mm-hmm. Is that to say we're rounding it out here?
I would say so. Unless you want to crack another drink, it's up to you.
I'm good.
Right now, that's how I feel. I feel like we've had a good, solid show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph's a great guest.
Good time.
Thank you very much for being here again.
Thanks for having me.
I think the next one will be in 3 weeks.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be on the 8th. It might be on the 10th or it might be on the 16th. Okay. We'll discuss that after we wrap. Yeah. And thank you guys all for being here. Thanks, Zalman, for the bits and Skunk for surviving or subscribing.
So surviving too. It's rough up there in Montana.
And if you know our gamer tags, I believe we will be playing
Lethal Company.
So follow. Thanks.
What did you talk? I don't know if I should fire up the stream for that. Maybe I should.
I mean, I'm gonna be streaming it. _agent. You can see it right here. We're playing a new game where you collect scrap and bring it back, or you get fired out of the ship.
And the entire time, monsters are waiting around.
I wouldn't say the entire time. I only encountered one monster. We played for about an hour last night, and I only saw one monster.
Oh, okay.
It did jump on my face and suffocate the shit out of me, and I died. But I only saw one monster.
I saw you die to another monster.
Was it the quicksand monster or the whole monster?
It was water.
No, that was quicksand. Oh, no, yeah, the water. I drowned in water. It was a good time. But either way, thanks for being here, guys. Joseph, thanks for being here. Chris, as always, it's been fun. We can give an Eiffel Tower to Joseph. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you next time.
Good night.